It's the bus stop, swerving into what's hot. Coming live, Shady Sports, yeah, we got it on live. Sports and music, yeah, let's get into it. Do it like no other, do it. Blueprint for consuming the team that's never losing. Coming live from Colorado, like shit and follow. Shady Sports, the motto, fresher than avocado. Play by play and ball for ball, we coming to you from afar. Day to day and call for call, we talk about it all.
Yeah, this the bus stop, talking sports and hip hop. Jump on the bandwagon, cause we talking what's hot. 8303, Denver, what's happening? We got sports action, so take a ride with us if you DJ and a rapping. No capping, staying linked in, bringing sports and rap news, stats news, and talking Denver's who's who. And we ain't hard to find, we on Shady Sports Network like all the time. Gemini Statik got the ball, it's time to grind. It's the show you won't wanna miss, not one line. And ain't damn not a show bringing what we bringing. So go ahead and tune in, man, we just hanging at the bus stop.
Shady Sports, 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 Shady Sports.
Shady Sports Network. What's up, fam? It's Saturday morning, so you know what that means, man. I'm hanging at the bus stop, holding it down, right? Got my coffee, got my gear, ready to go for NFL Sunday, right? As we do. All right, guys. So it's just me today, the bus driver, but that's okay. That's cool. I'm going to still come out here and talk my trash. That just give me more time to talk my trash. More of a platform. We might get some music in there, too. So keep rocking with me, you know what I'm saying? Jump on. I'd love to hear who you guys are looking forward to watching tomorrow on NFL Sunday. What you thought about the Thursday night game between the Commanders. Are the Packers, are they serious? Are the Packers one of the better teams in the NFC right now? I know last year we thought the whole entire NFC North was going to just all go to the Super Bowl. So who knows? But anyway, it's Saturday. We're hanging at the bus stop over here on Shady Sports Network. Like I said, I am your bus driver, Cedric, Gemini, whatever you want to call me. Came here to talk some sports. I'm going to be talking my sports. We're going to talk about the Broncos game, looking back at that Broncos-Titans game from last week, looking forward to the Broncos-Colts game tomorrow, and all the other games in between that we want to talk about, right? So go ahead and get your stuff in. I'd love to hear what games you're looking forward to watching, what you thought about the Broncos game if you are here for the Denver Broncos, what you thought about that Broncos-Titans game, what are your thoughts about the Broncos and the AFC moving forward? All I got to say is I know my team's 1-0 in the AFC West. I don't know about, I think most of the teams are 1-0 actually, you know what I'm saying? There's one team, but nah, we look into it, you know what I'm saying? So I just came here to talk my stuff. So let's have some fun today, guys. Hang out with me. You know how I do over here at the bus stop. Always hit you up, or on Shady Sports. Always hit you up with that Shady Sports Network promo. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with the promo. Subscribe if you haven't already. We just crossed up. We're about to 2,800 subscribers on YouTube, and it just keeps growing every second, every minute, every hour, every day. So come and jump on this bandwagon, hop on the train, hang out with Shady Sports. We got something for everyone. Let me go ahead and hit you with that promo. Hit that likes button if you hit the like button if you haven't already. Pass it on to a friend and subscribe. And let's get into it. Like I said, what games are you looking forward to? So I'd love to hear about that. We come back, we'll be talking the Broncos game from last week. Yo. Yeah, man. Last week was, brush it off, right? Brush it off. I feel like everybody was like, I don't know, man. Sitting on the edge of our seat watching that game. Like, are we about to lose to a rookie? We got the number 1 ranked defense, and this is what's going on right now. I mean, Cam Ward did manage to throw 112 yards, but no touchdowns. It just looked good, right? Tony Pollard had 60 yards, no touchdowns. It just looked good. So I don't think we had a touchdown. Bo Nix threw one touchdown to Cortland Sutton, beast, right? So it really didn't look the best. I think everybody in Broncos country. On my side, I know I was on the edge of the seat, especially after watching that Gator game on Saturday and watching the Gators lose the USF. I was like, man, not again. I cannot do it. I'm telling you, man, that the bus almost wasn't ready to go. I was like, okay, we're gonna get this thing going. I don't know where it's going. It's looking. And then they pulled it out. So I mean, they still got the win, an ugly win. It's still a win, but gosh, man, they did not. That was not fun. It felt like they were gonna lose up until the end, right? Oh man. But yeah, we saw RJ Harvey break off that big 50-yarder. What was it, like 52 yards? He ended the game with 70 yards on 6 carries. Cortland Sutton, 61 yards on 6 receptions in that tutty, so he did have the tutty. Bo Nix did throw to 2 interceptions. Super weird, man. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like the play calling was all. It was the first game, I guess. We'll put it at that, right? That's what we'll say. Right. The real big coup. We'll leave it at. It was the first game of the season, right? Everybody was a little sloppy. I don't know, but gosh, man, I thought for a moment, like, dang, the defense. I thought they were supposed to look a lot better than that, man. What's going on right now? So hopefully this game looks a bit different. I mean, we come into, it's a totally different team from the Titans. I mean, usually you see the Titans and the Colts, they're pretty similar team and they're pretty similar makeup. Yes, they are, but man, it's a totally different team going into this week, especially you see that they had a scoring drive on every single drive last week, right? What do they say? Danny Dimes is the only quarterback to ever do that. Danny Dimes, they're talking whatever. We're just so let's get last week out, right? Let's go ahead and right. We don't even think about it no more. It's gone. It's done. We're not doing it no more. Now we're moving forward. Right? What does it hold? What does this week hold for us? What's going forward? Are we going to see more than 9 running plays in the first half? I don't know. I hope we do, right? I hope we do see more running plays coming out the gate. I hope we see a lot more. I don't want to see Bo Nix trying to force the ball down the field. Let's get the running game going, and then let's play off of that, right? I think we saw maybe our receivers aren't what we thought they were, right? Evan Ingram looking a little banged up. So hopefully he is looking a little better. So yeah, going into this Colts game, right? It's a close one. Both teams are 1-0. Weird to say. I mean, Danny Dimes 272 yards last week, no touchdowns, 22 of 29. Or 1 touchdown, sorry, no interceptions. 22 of 29. So, trying to see, man. Defense going to have to play a little bit more this week. Michael Pittman had a decent game, right? 6 receptions, 80 yards, 1 tutty. Jonathan Taylor, 18 carries, 71 yards. Yeah, the same amount of yards as RJ Harvey. I don't know. That probably doesn't mean nothing. I feel good about that. What up, Aaron? Heck yeah. Go Gators. That's what you meant to say, I think. I think you meant to say go Gators. The Dogs, oh, man, aren't y'all about to play? That's probably why you're up and at them. Who are y'all playing today? Tennessee? At 3:30. Oh, well, 1:30. You got a few hours before y'all lose to Tennessee. That's a big one, man. We playing LSU tonight. Oh gosh. I'm done with the Gators right now, though. I won't even lie. I'm over the Gators, over SEC. They want to drop it down to a 9-game schedule. Go for it, because I'm not watching not one of them. Nah, I'll probably watch them, but man, after last week, I don't know. I might have to be an FIU fan for this season. Right, let me see what FIU schedule. Who's FIU playing today? I think they got a squad down there at Pit Bull Stadium. They are playing Delaware. Yeah. On ESPN Plus. Nice. You know who played Delaware last week? CU. Right? So, gosh, we'll see. FIU has a 72.1% chance. I'm watching Florida International this season. My guys, I'm representing, what's their colors? Blue and yellow, I think, the Panthers. Gators can go suck up that one. Pissed me off these past 2 weeks, man. How are you going to come out there and lose the U.S.? Whatever, I'm getting off track. I digress. Back to my Broncos, who look like the Gators coming into it. God bless. Maybe somebody changed their colors or something. What is going on? Anyway, Broncos rank 19th in the league in points per game. The Colts are 6th in the league with points per game. Broncos had 20 points. Colts had 33. I don't think the Colts are going to put up 33 points on the Broncos. Whatever. So they're number 1 right now. Broncos are number 4. Yards per game, Broncos at 317 last game. They're 16th in the league. Colts at 3rd with 418. Again, I don't think Danny Dimes is putting up. I don't think he's going 22 or 29 unless he's dinking and dunking. So I don't think he's putting up 272 yards. That's all I'm saying. That was a fluke. Yeah, right. That's, and they're looking. I think we're going to see. I'm glad they did not look that good last week, man. I don't know about you guys, but I'm glad the Broncos didn't come out and think that they had nowhere to go, right? I'm glad they came out and they stumbled, because then, they I'm glad, because then they understood that they had work to do, man, against the Titans. It was the Titans. Yeah, you expected them to come out and run all over the Titans. So they come out and got in this big head like the Colts, right? Thinking that they're going to do something, and then they go up against a solid defense like the Colts are about to. I don't know. It's not homerism. It's just the truth. It's just the truth, guys. It's a solid defense. You saw that. How many yards did Pat Surtain allow? 0. I don't think there was any catches. No. Right? So I am pretty confident in the defense. We don't have many injuries. Luckily, like I said, Evan Ingram was able to go, so he's not showing up on the injury report. Nate Atkins is, of course, still out. Just the same people who are out. Dre Greenlaw not playing yet. We'll see him maybe one day. Cody Conway, I don't even think he played last week. See, they waived him. I don't know what's going on with this. Who's this? Donnie Lewis. Out. Just out. So, they have him as questionable. So, really no injuries going into the second week that we didn't know about. So, nothing to be, I guess, concerned about or someone to look forward to. Same thing on the Colts side. I don't think they had anybody that's out that wasn't already out. So, it should be a pretty solid game. I think we got 2 good teams. One that understood the assignment or understands the assignment, knows what they needed to do and turn around and correct and do more of, right? More than 9 runs in the first half. Come on, let's get the ball to the running backs. Let's have 9 runs in the first 10 minutes, right? Let's get out there and feed the ball to the running back. Same thing they're going to do to us. They're just going to feed the ball to Jonathan Taylor, 18 carries, right? RJ Harvey doesn't have to have 18 carries. Maybe he should have 8, right? Maybe 10, maybe 2 to 4 more than 6, right? And then you go back and you got J.K. Dobbins, and then you got him. Yeah, of course, that's your bell cow, but I want him carrying the ball 18 times. What did he have? Let's see how many carries he had last week. 16. So I guess it was all right. They tried to feed him. But I probably want to see that like 18 to 20, right? 18 to 20. Let's run the ball 25, 30 times. Let's just run the ball a lot, right? I don't want Bo having to come out, right? It was a pretty mid game, and that's because I feel like they tried to make him throw the ball freaking 30 times. He had 40 pass attempts in the first game. He's a second-year player. Like, we got 18 running backs on the team. I'm trying to see, 25 to 30 carries. Just stuff the ball down their throat. Make them stop the run. Make them not make a mistake. Plus, since they brought in that other running back, right? Oh, man, what's his name? Little Tank. They got to see what Bidet and McLaughlin can do. So get this running game moving, right? Get this running game going. Filter through these running backs. Use them up. Use them up in this game and just wear down this offense. And just slow the game down, man. Right? Just kind of turn it into an AFC game. Right? What you would expect from the AFC back in the day. I don't know if it's a sophomore slump. I do feel like it did feel like there was probably maybe a little bit more put on his plate. I don't know if it's a sophomore slump. I don't know. You look at CJ Stroud, but that's because I think he was overflated, right? Going into the season. I don't think it was just, I don't know. And he still did decent, and all his receivers were hurt. Yeah, like I just think that there was too much on Bo Nix's plate too soon. So it's way too early. Yeah, that was game one. Like, I feel like, and I think he only had like 19 snaps in preseason. So he didn't really have any snaps in the off season. That was really the first game. I mean, stuff's to be expected. This is expected not to hit right. Evan Ingram had, what was it, like a freaking ankle injury or something? So, things weren't sitting right. The receivers weren't catching balls. It was just some wild play calling too, man. I don't know. It was weird. And then I think that one drive too, where we scored twice. Neither one counted and had to kick a field goal. I think that took a lot. It's kind of a lot to bounce back in the game when you're supposed to be winning, and then you see stuff like that where it's just like, shoot, man, maybe it feels like you're not gonna win, but they still found a way to pull it out, and they found a way to pull away, right? It still wasn't like super close. I think Bo Nix will be fine. I mean, he was still 50%, over 50%, right? The 2 interceptions, I don't know. He'll be fine. That was weird. And then Sean Payton saying he didn't go for the field goal because he didn't want to block or something. That is super weird. Why go for it? Then punt it. Like, why try to do a quarterback sneak or stupid? Dang, Austin Eckler is torn Achilles, out for the season. Yeah, why try to do quarterback sneak or whatever it was and not get anything, get stuffed? Stupid. How old is Sean Payton? I feel like some people, man, 65. Oh, wait. Is that the right Sean Payton? Not Sean Penn. 61. Still same, right? Shoot. I just feel like, I don't know why you go for it. I don't even know what the down and distance was. Hey, I feel like you still just go for it though, right? Yo. And I'm gonna take a promo real quick. Hang with me when I come back. Static will be on. So we'll both be on here. We can talk about this game. Especially I want to hear from his point of view too with these Titans, man. Because they did not look great, but they didn't look bad, right? Going up against who they went up against. So let me go ahead and get a Shady Sports promo, guys. We'll be back in a minute. And stick with us. We can talk some more about this.
How are you?
Bring them things, bring them things. I call the plug, bring them things. I bring them things.
That's money. That's cash up.
Hey,
What's up?
what up, bruh?
Just had one of them late mornings. I had one of those fall asleep on the couch and phone dies nights. So,
Hey, man, it happened. I didn't even know if I was gonna make it. I had a couple of brewskis, and by couple, I literally mean two. I think in a pickle shot.
that's all
Tap
it
me
takes.
out these days,
That's all it takes, man.
right? That's all it takes. What up, man?
How's it?
We got Aaron, bro. Aaron joined us. We was talking about the Broncos game, right? And then I feel like I turned, man. That game was, I won't even lie, that game was giving me a heart attack. I couldn't watch it, especially after the Gator loss. So I felt like I was gonna go in the Hulk rage mode. So I just turned it off, I think, in the third quarter or something like that.
Yeah, it seemed like it really wasn't what everyone expected in that first half, especially. It was just kind of back and forth, just 3 and outs, and it just seemed like it wasn't really giving us what we wanted. But I did watch it all the way through. I did watch it in depth, and what I saw was actually kind of impressive from both sides. It seemed like there was rust to be broken on the offensive end, but the defensive end, both teams look really strong. It seemed like they really kind of found their groove on defense before offense, obviously clearly by, the score and everything like that in that first half. But, you've seen the rust start gradually breaking off. You've seen, passes get made. You got to see I saw a lot of different changes. Bo Nix, I saw a lot of progression in his movements and in his throws. He was very orchestrated more, in a sense, with how he was throwing the ball. He wasn't just being loose and just kind of letting loose and, giving pushback to, the play calls or anything like that. He was really being proactive in thinking about what he was doing before he did it. And that was some maturity coming out of him. I really felt like he was thinking about what he was going to do before he did it, instead of just, slinging it down the field, for a 40, 50-yard pass. He was really paying attention to reading the whole field before and, doing his check downs, doing his second looks. And that was really good to see. Cam Ward, you could see a lot of, last year, Bo Nix and Cam Ward, first year in the league. But in that second half, you really see Cam Ward put some stank on that ball, man. He was slinging that thing. Yeah, it was a rocket.
It was, man. Yeah, I was watching some highlights, man, looking at some of his throws, and it just felt like he just kind of relaxed too. As after a while, he was like, I think the fact that they were staying in the game just really did give him the confidence. You really did see that confidence grow, and it was like, well, dang, you know what I mean? I can kind of hang with these guys. Yeah. And then on, like you said, on Bo Nix's side, I feel like, because who was that one Tennessee player that tried to call him out? And he was like, Bo Nix is a one-read quarterback. He's one read and he runs.
Yeah.
I think that got to Bo Nix.
Yeah,
right?
I think so too.
So yeah, because he was like trying to specifically look through, like you said, take his time and go through his reads and go through the progressions. And then that Tennessee, that front was just, just kind of getting in there a little bit sooner than he thought. But it did feel like, yeah, he was trying to do that. But and I think you kind of saw it in the interception throws, though. He was coming back, though, across the reads. I think that was the thing. Is like, yeah, like go through your reads, but you're not gonna go through your reads 2 or 3 times, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you got to get the ball out at some point, right? And sometimes you do have to be kind of that 1-2 read quarterback if the situation dictates that. And I feel like a lot of times, like especially when they're in the red zone, man, those are a lot of moments where it was a situation like that, and he did kind of hold on to it. But
yeah,
like,
and I think that's the next step for Bo Nix, honestly, is working on his footwork, really. And I think that's kind of something that I've seen from last season and this season that hasn't had much progression. Is his throws on the run, him getting his feet set a little more comfortably, the motion in which he throws when he's on the run. I think that's the next development stage for him.
I could see that. I mean, what'd you feel about Cam Ward?
I liked what I saw overall. I liked the leadership value that he carries. I saw him. He wasn't just out there just taking what he was given and being quiet about it. Like, he was very verbal and very commanding of his offense when he was out there. You see him chirping at the receivers when they weren't cutting in, when he would throw a ball in the middle and he was expecting them to break off the route a little bit and cut inside where the open space was. I seen him go off on one of the receivers because they just didn't take that open space. They kept developing in their route instead of just seeing the open space and taking it and him throwing it there. There's the communication that needs to get built with these guys, definitely, and that connection that has to be built. But I see him definitely progressing faster than I expected. I expected it to be a blowout with him, having more interceptions than touchdowns and, getting just ran over by the defense, which in the second half, in the fourth quarter, he really did. But that was his line breaking down, getting tired. It's a mile high. It's hard to play here. It's not an easy place to play. Yeah,
but I tell you what, though, man, next season when he has Justin Jefferson to throw to,
That's a first. You heard it here first, people. Justin Jefferson.
Hot take. Well, I'm saying, right, if they have to give him, well, yeah. I mean, if they give him the Caleb Williams treatment, even Caleb Williams got that treatment. He got an upgrade on offense. His second year.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud. They keep trying to bring in receivers to see who they can get. Drake May, they completely, revamp their offense. So it seems like teams are building around these quarterbacks. So, and his receiving core sucks, man.
Yeah, no, Calvin Ridley he peaked a couple seasons ago, so he really does. You're correct on that.
He had a lot of drop balls he should have caught to help his rookie out. And he didn't get as many passes as I thought he would, but like the ones he did get, he was not catching. I feel like the tight end is, I think he's going to be pretty decent, but he's young too, right? I think he's like a first or second year player.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it was good to see the Titans hold their own for, the first half and everything, but it was a win-win for me. It's my first favorite team, the Titans, and second favorite team, the Broncos. So, I mean, it was good to see them match up. It was good to see. I was really wishing I could go, but, just parenting time didn't match up for me to be able to make that happen. So it was something that, it won't be the last time. So
right.
I'm not worried about it too much at all. I'm not one of those FOMO guys that feels like I'm just going to never be able to see it again. I'm going to spend my rent money on it.
Right. Yeah. No. It was a solid game. The game was a lot, I guess, better game than I thought it would be.
Correct.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. And have you talked about the new stadium already?
Oh, man, I have not talked about the new stadium already. I've been talking to everybody else but on the show about the new stadium right by my job, so I'm stoked about that.
I bet. I seen that. I was like, oh, wow, I like it a lot. I like the location. My favorite thing that was announced is that the Walton Penner Group is not going to take a single penny from taxpayers on it. It's going to be 100% privately funded.
Well, I mean, I'm excited about it, but I am interested to see what happens with that area because, I mean, my vet center is literally like I can walk to Barnum Rail Yard over on 10th and Osage.
Yeah.
It's like 2-3 blocks away. So hopefully it doesn't screw with stuff
The one article I read is the only thing that's going to be affected that they're going to have to work out in the small print and everything is the water treatment facility that's around there. There's apparently a water treatment center or building there that, you know, kind of impedes on the development blueprints that, you know, has to be worked out. But
Dang.
I think that's the only thing. And I think that's something that, you know, everybody's on board to do and figure out. I mean, it's Walmart money. So, I mean, anything is possible when you got Walmart money.
I mean, look what they've been doing, signing and re-signing, and they're still paying Russ and still signing and don't care, long hair, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting to see, but I love the, you know, pre-thoughts on everything, the pre-plans that they've announced, a retractable roof. It's going to make us eligible for World Cups. It's going to make us eligible for Super Bowl
for Final Four, right? All that college national championship. Well, I don't know if I don't know national championship. I think they do those at like bowls, I guess.
Yeah. It seems like it, but yeah, no, it's exciting to see everything that comes along with them, you know, and our lease is up in 2030, so that would make us eligible to start in a new stadium in 2031.
Don't gotta break no lease.
Don't gotta break no lease.
Put that notice in.
They'll own it. They'll fully own it, you know, because they don't own the land that they're currently on with the stadium. So they're paying lease rights, and it's just killing everything in terms of their being able to develop into the new era, the new age of everything, which hasn't stopped them with this new ownership. I mean, you know, even with this being in this lease currently and paying all those lease fees and everything like that, they are still, you know, reamping the training facility out in Dove Valley. It's not stopping them at all, but they want full ownership. You know, I like the way they do everything. You know, that was something that has killed teams completely and had them move, like St. Louis Rams. You know, St. Louis Rams, Stan Kroenke wasn't going to get any funding from the public, and so he moved them to LA, and so he didn't have to pay for it all outright. And I feel like that just, you know, robbed St. Louis of their team. You know, they have a stadium that's been sitting there for who knows how long that, you know, can hold 60,000+ people, and it's not being used at all for anything except for concerts here and there.
The Raiders too, right? The Raiders and the Oakland, because I think the Oakland A's just moved over to Vegas.
Yep. So it's one of those things where these got these empty stadiums and investments that just sit there now, and it's all on taxpayer dollars.
Yeah. But it's cool to see that they're trying to stay around Denver, though. I think that's the best part of it. That like even the other alternatives aren't like entirely too far, you know. Just this one puts them right in the heart for the most part of downtown.
Yeah, it really matches up with everything. It just moves not far from where it's originally at.
Not at all.
It's just on the east side of I-25 now, in the actual heart of downtown, and just a little bit south, maybe by like, you know, 2 miles or something like that, if that, you know. So it's not a far move, but it's an effective move. The one thing that I noticed and that I heard asked that I'm interested to get your take on is, what feature would you push to the ownership in the development of the new stadium? What would you want to see? What's the one thing that you would want to see in this new stadium? It made me think for a while about it, and I still really haven't came up with a firm answer on it.
Right? Because I mean, they got a retractable roof. That's about it, right?
Yeah. One of the players had said that they want a Miami Dolphins kind of setup where the opponents and the visiting team is always going to be sitting in the sun.
This guy Henny. Whoa, Henny! You tell you're a Chargers fan. Yeah, no. And then I guess like at Jacksonville they have the infinity pools.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so something like that.
PS2 said he wanted a PS2 grill and chill.
Nice. But PS2? Come on, man. Tell him we got to have like 4 more kids so we could do a PS6 or something. Gosh, maybe we should have a freaking AFC West dogging section. Or we just let the dogs come and crap on the jerseys from all the other teams.
Right. Yeah. No. It's.
Be like
It's.
this.
I think the only thing that really kind of triggered to me that like I thought of was something common to like Allegiant Stadium when they built it, which was like a designated entertainment section where like they had um, a DJ like whole setup area where they could have live DJs there and all that during the games, make it more entertainment purpose during like the breaks, the halftime, and everything like that. Something like that would be great for something for like when we host the Super Bowl. Who knows when that may be, but that could be really useful and really awesome to see. Another thing that I saw recently that was really kind of hit me in a special place was there was a I can't remember what stadium it was, but they have a designated section for the it's like a MIA soldiers. One seat that's always designated and always empty for soldiers that never make it back.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, just like a whole designated seat, just
Like
right
a
in the
veteran section.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it was just like to pay respects to soldiers that go missing in action or don't make it back from their services that they do. Because I love my veterans. I appreciate it. Every single one of them, including you. If you don't know, our man Gemini served his country.
Do a little bit here and there. Hurrah, hurrah. But that's very true. That would be tight if they did have like a veteran section, or maybe if they had maybe not necessarily a section closed off, but maybe a section for veterans that they could come and watch games. Because I'm sure I have a lot of veterans that come into my veteran service center that would love to go to a Broncos game. So
exactly,
that'd be pretty dope, actually.
Yep.
I know one thing it'd be cool. I don't know if they do it, if they do, but if they have it. But I remember when I was in high school, I could go to like the Florida Gator games and sell programs.
Yeah.
For like the first half, and then I'd get in the second half for free.
That's sweet.
Something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be something cool, right? They could like do something like that for like the veterans, or maybe like I don't know, like the high school like athletes or something.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know, just something to highlight, I guess, Denver's finest, whether it be athletes or whether it be veterans, whatever.
Yeah, my vote is the veterans, man. You got to serve those who served you. And
right.
Take care of
That'd
them.
be awesome.
Yeah, make sure that they're taken care of. Make sure they have a great time. And that's something simple. That's something, not going too far out and all that. And a lot of those are NPO kind of deals where, there's financial benefit behind those in terms of a stadium designating a section for that. That's a write-off for them every time. And so, I mean, that's giving back while getting back, and it's helping the community. It's really paying attention to what the community around you has done, and will do.
Yeah. I tell you this, though, do not make the seats nosebleed, because I'm pretty sure that's what they do for so there's like this thing, it's like different programs. Like one was like the single Marine program, right? And you like go to like different events, sporting events, concerts and stuff. And man, the seats out here for the active duty Marines they're all the way up there, man. You feel the seats rocking, and shoot, man, I'm not a guy that deals with height, so I imagine a lot of people is like, don't do those crappy seats where you gotta have binoculars. Like, give them some good seats. Put them right next to the players.
Right.
That's all I want to see. If we're gonna get our vets out there, put them right there next to the players.
Exactly. Yeah, put them right behind the home team seats. Make sure they're in the shade. Make sure it's a nice loungy area. You see in SoFi Stadium and all that, they have that whole area right down near the sidelines. That's like pretty much recliners, and it's all super fancy, and it's like a suite on the field practically.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. See, and they're gonna be competing with SoFi, right? Aren't they? They're freaking like brother-in-laws or something like that. The Cronkies and Walter, whatever.
Stan Kroenke's wife is a Walton.
Yeah,
She's the sister. She's a sister of the owner of the Broncos.
Yeah, so I feel like anything you see over at SoFi Stadium, you're probably going to see something nice or probably nicer at the Broncos Stadium. You know what I mean? If it
Yeah.
goes in like something, but I mean, it's already seen. I feel like the mock-ups have kind of been in that light and that direction. You'd see
Yeah.
it kind of looks like a SoFi type stadium.
Definitely. And I hope that they do something really innovative. Like when you watch the Buffalo Stadium, Buffalo's new stadium is designed to really kill the wind. It's just the whole overall design. You can see and you can appreciate the architecture that's put behind it based off of the designs and how it's built, where it's built, the features going into it. You really see human intelligence at its finest going into these stadiums, and that's what I want to see with this new Broncos stadium is those features, those considerations for elements and just everything in between in terms of how the game is played in Denver. I want it to be just an overall marvel in sense of stadiums being built. I want them to put that special touch on it. I'm gonna get pissed when I see Great Value brand on everything there.
Oh, bro, you're gonna see it. You're gonna be like, all right, guys, look, these are the premium seats, but we brought these other seats in from Mile High Stadium.
Right.
Great Value section. You want that? Like a little add-on soul plane type section, like
right.
With Reebok, sponsored by Reebok. Yeah.
Right.
The cool thing about it too is it's the only stadium that's privately funded. The Buffalo Bills Stadium, I think they're asking for like over half of it from the citizens.
Yeah,
I think, or it's like not like half of it, but like I think it's at least like I had a list of I had it somewhere. It was like 300 million or something in taxes or something like that going towards it. It wasn't a whole lot, I think, from the Bills, but they were one of the top teams. Like all the new stadiums coming in, being built over these next couple of years, they're all, asking for money.
Yeah, exactly.
From taxes, and except for the Broncos Stadium. But what they will probably be asking for, though, is them PSLs. Private seat, them seat license, right? Like you get that season ticket, but you also got to pay for that seat for the season too. You got to pay for that seat first, right?
Right.
So
that's one thing that they have secured. The thing with the Broncos, no matter if they're good or bad, they have sold out every single game for the past 2 decades or something like that. Every game, even if they don't show up, is sold out.
But do you think they're gonna sell out still when people have to pay an extra 20, 30,000 for their seat on top of their seat? Well, yeah, I guess people, then it's just like, okay, well, I guess that's football, right? It is like the top 1% realistically if you want like season tickets and stuff like that.
Somebody literally has to die and you have to inherit their season tickets in order for you to get a chance to get season tickets to the Denver Broncos.
That is true. I think the list is long enough to where they would definitely have it sold.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
before it even got to the bottom of the list.
And there's going to be those people that are like, I don't care how I do it, I'm going to get season tickets because those are, if I can hold on to them,
they're worth it.
It's an investment, whether you like it or not. Because you hold on to it for 10 years, you're doubling, if not tripling, if not times fiving your investment when you go to sell those off on the private market to somebody, to a new family, and you're like, you know what, I bought these $20 grand for a year for nosebleed season tickets, and now they go for $35,000, $40,000 in 10 years.
Well, and I mean, but actually, though, that's the thing, though. It'd be 20 grand plus the seat license, so you're really gonna have to sell it for like 40,000. But you'd be able to sell the tickets as you wish, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yep. You decide to go out. You don't live in Denver, but you got season tickets, and you sell off the first half of the season. They pay for themselves in that sense with you selling them per game, per seat. $1,200 a seat.
Yeah. So I mean, pretty much, yeah. You pay for your seat license. That way, you get the right to buy your tickets, and then you buy your tickets. But then, I mean, I guess it's still the same thing though, because you're still gonna average it into it. Like you said, people are willing to do whatever. You still look into it, and like, I mean, what's the cheapest ticket for a game going nowadays? Like 200, 175, 180.
Somewhere around there for some cheap last second tickets.
Yeah, so if you like say it's 175, you know what I mean, a game, and you got 2 tickets, you know, and you're paying, you know, 40,000 for those tickets for a whole season, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is that? Like breakdown 40,000 per game. Well, I guess maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm way off. 400 ain't gonna get you back there. For
No,
sure. You're probably
right.
trying to sell them for a lot more, then, right?
Probably, yeah. And I mean, even in that sense, I mean, you're giving them away to family. These are people that have season tickets afford them. They afford
Yes.
them. They don't sweat it.
Yes, and is that like they always would say in the military, it rolls downhill, right? It rolls downhill. So they're not. Whoever ends up in the seat is gonna pay all the fees, regardless of how
They're
it goes.
not going to care. You know, SoFi has done great at filling their stadium with 2 very mediocre teams. I mean, the Chargers, they're starting to make a name for themselves. I think they're going to, you know, finally be something great here soon. Herbert looked amazing. So, I mean, and the chances of SoFi, that's just the weird part, though, is they share that stadium.
They ain't even got their own stadium. Shout out to that crazy Chargers fan talking all that trash. Win a playoffs game. How long Herbert been there? For 4 years now. Ain't done nothing. What up, Sam? Yeah, no, they don't even own their stadium. Are they gonna get a stadium? Are they building a stadium across the street? What are they doing? They don't even know. They're like, oh, we'll just rent, dudes. We had a perfectly good stadium 2 hours up the road, down the road, right? But we had FOMO. Again, there's that FOMO. They just had to be in LA.
Yep. Yeah, so it's one of those things. And then you got the Rams, who, I mean, I think Stafford is one of the best of his era since he came in. You know, he's played through hardship. He's played through just every kind of battle you can go through, even through trade battles, you know, where, you know, it seemed like he was always going to be a Lion. Eventually he got traded out to the Rams. I think one of the best trades for both teams of our era as well. Stafford for Goff was a trade that'll go down in NFL history for a long period of time as one of the better trades to ever happen for both franchises. You know, usually it's always a one-sided deal where one team always makes out really good. Similar to, you know, the Broncos and Russell Wilson, you know, that's going down as one of the worst in NFL history based on, you know, what the Broncos had to give up for that to get nothing out of it.
Nothing. I mean, I think we got Sean Payton, right? Because we used to pick. And who else did we pick? Well, I guess Bo Nix, right? Was that a pick from the trade? No.
I don't think so.
Out there? Well, we got Sean Payton, I know for sure.
And it's leveling out. I think 2-3 years ago, that was definitely one of the worst trades ever. I think it's starting to level out towards where it wasn't such a bad trade because, you know, we got to work through the misery of that trade. And let
me ask you this. Hold on, let me find this. Speaking of that, what was the worst? How would you rank these trades? The Russell Wilson trade for the Broncos, the Chris Bryant trade for the Rockies, and then who did the Avalanche just trade away? Was it Nazem Kadri?
No, it was Mikko Rantanen.
Rantanen, right before the playoffs, comes back and bites him.
Yep.
Right. He's the one who knocked him out, right? This guy had hat tricks and pocket tricks and hip tricks or whatever tricks, all the tricks you could have. It seemed like he played the best game of his career in that playoff series against the Avalanche. Right. So there's that, and then you got Chris Bryant, who, man, we went and saw. Oh, I forget. It was I think it was like the second game of the season, second and third game of the season, home game. And last season, not even this season, last season, man, and they were just booing Chris Bryant by like the fourth inning. He just couldn't hit a ball. Couldn't hit a ball, and it was surprising that he was out there. So there's that, and then the Russell Wilson. So out of those three trades, which one do you think? Oh, and I guess you could add the MPJ trade in there too. I'd say that's the best trade, right? So that has to be at the bottom for me.
Yeah,
I'll say.
And it really went to go show how good the PR team for the Nuggets are.
Yeah. So, but not to leave the Nuggets out, they had their big trade too. So we got the Nuggets, and for me, that's the best trade. So that's at the bottom. That is not included in this. But out of those three trades from the Broncos, the Rockies, and the Avalanche, which one do you think is the worst?
I'd say from worst to best, I'd say the worst trade is still that Russell Wilson trade.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that lasted the longest. It left a bad taste in our mouth for seasons, not just, initially, and then we finally got over it mid-season or end of season. Like, no, it left a bad taste in our mouth for seasons.
Still now, right? Like, he's on two different teams later, and we're still like, God, man.
Yeah, we're still rooting against him every week, so
right.
That's definitely the worst. I'd say the Bryant trade goes right after that, because and even over the Bryant trade, that was most recent. But the Rockies, they're just known for giving away our best players and getting really the crap end of the deal always with the Nolan Arenado trade. Rockies. That's when I stopped having faith in the Colorado Rockies. This was we gave up Nolan Arenado 8-9 years ago or something like that, when we had just signed him to like a $270 million deal.
Yeah,
and it just backfired hard. He's great where he's at. He's played consistently. He's a beast. He would have been the Larry Walker. He would have been the Andre Scalaraga. Like, we could have built around him. He was really a beast in his own right. And then, I think only time will tell, but I think the Mikko Rantanen trade put a bad taste in our mouth initially right off the bat, but I think that's something that we can quickly get over, especially with, getting Gabriel Landeskog back, our captain, finally, with the trades that we acquired throughout the season on top of what we got for Mikko. I think, it's going to pay off dividends. And it's going to, be okay. It's not going to leave a bad taste in our mouth for a long period. And I think kind of most of Avalanche Nation have already kind of let that one go. He was great, but, we respect him. We appreciate him. It's not like Russell Wilson, where no Denver Bronco fan is going to be like, oh, yeah, no, hope the best for Russell, Like, none of us feel that way.
Yeah.
No. As for Mikko, it's one of those things where most Avs fans wish him the best. We wish he would have, gave in with our deal and just stuck with the team that he knows, cares, loves, and he would have been effective on. And he did a lot for him. We did a lot for him. There's mutual respect in that. And then, I think MPJ, that was the best trade that could have happened. It was inevitable. It was needed. It was necessary. We had called for it many a times, with ownership being like, we're not trading him, with coaches being like, we're not trading him. And then inevitably the fans winning that vote and saying, get him out of here. He's not who we wanted him to be. And then it paid off right away.
We saw right away with that podcast, right? He's talking about sports betting. It's like, oh, so that's why you were shanking them shots you had wide open. That's why your arm was dragging in the playoffs last season. Right. You had to make sure the bro was set up once he got banned.
Yep, exactly.
And look at us. We got a better threat at small forward, back forward, right? We got an actual player, man. Somebody who's going to actually be able to carry themselves and do what they need to do. On top of that, we got a backup center, which we haven't had since Joker came into the league for the Nuggets when he was the backup center, right? So I'm anxious to see.
Same, and I think there's going to be a study done eventually about how the Nuggets went from having the least depth team ever to having the most depth team ever in a matter of one off season.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a study to see we know where Actually, we know what a pause was because it's like, wait, what happened from them developing these young players and then they went to having nothing behind it? But it was like, oh yeah, Connolly went over to the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And that changed everything from there. But that's because they didn't want to play their front office. It's like it shows you like every part of these teams matter. You know what I mean? It's not just the players, it's not just the coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much more to an organization, even down to, you know, making sure you have your GMs and your scouts and everybody in place. So that shows a lot because they were on the right track, and then if they would have just stayed on that track, it just, you know, it shot out from there because then they went all in every direction trying to find stars in their picks and stuff with the Bone Highlands, and you know, and then they came back around slowly but surely, but they weren't really focusing on the younger players. So now we kind of have some depth pieces, we got some young pieces, we got our solid vets and stars. I think they got a really good setup to compete, man, and that's kind of how I feel about the Broncos too, right? Like, yeah, that Russell Wilson trade was, you know, it did leave a bad taste, and it probably talked about for a while, for sure. But I think now they're finally starting to come back around. We got our veterans, right, you know, who saw winning last season, right, as late as last season, saw making it to the playoffs, and saw was able to finally see what that felt like. You know, we got our younger players who are there also, but, you know, we got these guys who are able to push through, and then we got guys like J.K. Dobbins and Hufanga that came in and can really bring that kind of, you know, Hufanga played in the Super Bowl, so, you know, bringing that championship mentality. Greenlaw, same thing, bringing that, you know, that mentorship and stuff. So it was exciting to see on the Broncos end, but I think we are starting to bounce back from that Russell Wilson trade, man. Right. And then the Rockies, it's just who knows what they're doing.
What I look at is it's a great time to invest in season tickets for them because no team is bad. I think it's the Red Sox. They're the team that didn't win for like 100 years or something like that. I think that, you know, time will prove everything wrong. You know, the Rockies can't be bad for 100 years. So we got 70 more years to go. So if you invest in season tickets now, that one solid couple seasons that they do have, those tickets are going to skyrocket, and everyone's going to be a Rockies fan out of nowhere in Colorado. Those tickets are going to go up to $250, $300 per ticket, and when you can get them for $750 and a, you know, bag of chips at this point right now.
Well, I mean, honestly, if you can, honestly, it's probably the better time to do it because, right, I mean, there's already talks about the Sun taking over, right, in that ownership group. So if the Sun takes over or if somebody else comes in and takes over, the first thing is going to be to bring in a big name star. And once that starts happening and then the Rockies do get good, like you said, I see it even sooner than later, you know, even sooner than like 10 years, maybe the next, you know, 4 or 5 years down the road, we'll see a solid Rockies team where it's not $8 walk-up tickets, you know, it's more like $36 walk-up tickets for a rock pile, right? And then that means they're popping. So shoot, you're right, man. For the longest I was like, don't go there. And then the owner came out, he's like, I'm not selling the team, guys.
And really, I think the way that it's going to end up being, and inevitably will happen, because, you know, that's just a Denver way of success, it seems like lately, is just finding that double-headed dragon, that double-headed monster, in terms of finding that investment group that's going to, you know, tag along and be willing to spend some money along with you to up a franchise. You know, you see it with the Walter Penner group, with the Broncos. You see the double-headed monster in the Nuggets with Ben Tenzer and John Wallace. That's proven to be highly successful just in this one little offseason, having 2 GMs essentially. So I think it's really just having that investment group or that partner in crime that's really going to be able to get you where you need to go and be that voice in your ear that you can't ignore because they have investment interest.
That investment group's pretty powerful too, right? You got Condoleezza Rice, you got freaking, man, what's his name from F1, and Lewis Hamilton. You got some pretty big names. It's not just like an investment group built up of like some tech guys who just happen to, you know, get rich off .com or building an app or something, right? It's people that have been at the top of their own profession and knows what it takes to stay there, and you can kind of see that in all the movements too. I feel like there has been like consultation within that investment group within itself, and then like you said, having the two, GMs essentially, and then you see the Nuggets are doing the same thing too with their co-GMs, right? Like you got the one guy that's looking at the business side, and then you got the one guy that's looking at the player side. Why not have both sides of the house taken care of? Who cares, right? Like,
Right.
why you're a professional team? Like, why have to have the pressure? And why does it need to be put on one person when you can have it split up and you have different teams working for the same interest, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think
That's exactly how the Broncos look. When you break it down, you got the Walter Penners, who are the capital. You got Condoleezza Rice, who deals with all the politics that come along with, the NFL and the ownership and those conversations, those meetings, something she's very accustomed to and dealing with. And then you got Lewis Hamilton, he is the players guy. He's the relations guy. He's the one that, has been there, done that in terms of working with teams, working with players, this and that. So he's very familiarized in being a personable person. He's not just that figure that's, just there with a name on a title.
Yeah, and then, keeping it going down, you got Sean Payton, who's just pretty much, oh man, freaking Bill Belichick of the West right now, right? Kind of same situation with the supermodel wife, right? Like not much different from Bill
Right.
Belichick, right? But doing his thing and just really like pressed to do whatever needs to be done to make sure what he says is correct. So I think it is hurting him in some ways, but at the same time, it's still pressing them forward too. I think I'd rather maybe have a coach that knows what direction he wants to go in and how to get in that direction than maybe a coach that's kind of just playing it easy to hold on to his job, right? So at least he is following through with his vision, and hopefully it does like pan out. But I feel like, yeah, there's a whole collective effort for the Broncos and just seeing that pan out. And yeah, you probably see that probably, kind of that type of way, probably kind of see more teams go that route in the future, right? Where they have that co-GM, that co-dragon head at some point, right? You might even see co-head coaches at some point down the road, right? Like, I don't know, maybe you have a head coach, one side covers the offense, one coach covers the defense, right? Like, so it is good to see that the Broncos aren't afraid to experiment and do what needs to be done to kind of continue to move forward and stay in line with what's happening around the league too, because it does keep them. I think it does help keep them in check, right? Like they do have, a lot of money being the Walmart group, but at the same time, they can't just spend that money. And being the Walmart group, they know how to build it up. So it feels like, they're kind of treating the Broncos like Walmart, where they're still able to pay value prices for these players because they're signing them a bit earlier than you maybe normally would see players get signed, whereas, Bill Belichick and the Patriots, they would just cut them. The Broncos are like, hell, let's re-sign them before the season starts, right? As we saw Nick Bonito and Pat Surtain get signed in the same week. Pat Surtain was signed the same time last season as Nick Bonito. Yeah, they have the same agents, but you see, now looking back on it, Pat Surtain, rewind, he wins, defensive player of the year, and you see Sauce Gardner, becoming the highest paid cornerback in the league, right? And he just got shredded by a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. So you kind of see how it goes, right? Like you kind of see how it goes. And now Pat Surtain's looking like a deal. Same thing's gonna be with Benito, is like one of the highest paid players right now. Then you go fast forward once he gets, 16, 17, 18 sacks, hopefully, maybe hitting, flirting with that sack, that record. Then it's gonna be like, dang, well, good thing we signed him then instead of having a bidding war, right? Instead of having to pay all this money for him. Like we'll probably see Bo Nix being flirted with a contract extension maybe next year, right? And we'll be like, what? Still got the 4-year, the player option. Like, no, like you're looking at the way quarterbacks are, maybe he needs to be the highest paid quarterback next year for a month, as opposed to being, a $300 million, $400 million, $500 million quarterback the next season after that. So it seems like, at least for the business side, it really has been working out for them for sure, and they're able to get ahead of it. And you see with Nick Benito coming out, whole lot of money, playing a song, he playing a video. He's hype. He's hype about his contract. He's not pissed. He's not coming out like, oh, whoa, I need more money. He's like, shoot, I got paid. Let's go, man. I'm ready to play. Cortland Sutton, I got paid. Let's go. That's all I wanted, was to be recognized, right? Let's go. Let's play. And they are playing, right? You saw Cortland Sutton coming out there balling. The only receiver that really balled out last week.
Yeah, definitely. And that had a lot to do with, the change in Bo Nix's, second check, third checks, as to where, he would just he'd have one go deep, whether it be Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, or Cortland Sutton. One of them was going deep, and that was his first look. He would just throw it up there. And, he has most confidence, most faith in Cortland Sutton always coming down with that ball. Marvin Mims, close second. Troy Franklin had some significant drops last year, whether it was overthrown, whether it was underran. You don't really know what caused that, but you don't see Troy Franklin going down for the deep ball in that first game.
No. And I think we'll probably see a little bit more of Troy Franklin in this next game coming up. I think they kind of got a bit away from their game plan. It was a bit, I think really they were determined to come out and run more, and just, I don't know. It felt like maybe Sean saw different looks and thought he could get away with different stuff. But I think we'll see a little bit more of Troy Franklin going down the field and deep, and especially with Evan Ingram being a little hurt. And yeah, so guys, I don't know if you guys know, but we do have the Mountain West live on Shady Sports Network. So today at 2:30 Mountain Time, the Pendleton Roundup Rodeo, and at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, Fresno State versus Southern University. So we got EJ Warner, the son of Kurt Warner, making his debut on Shady Sports Network. Look at that. Kurt Warner giving back to the kids, you know what I'm saying, for the community. Going ahead, and his son making a debut. We got Mountain West action live here on Shady Sports Network. Some good football action, so catch up with that later on today, all day, all Saturday, every Saturday, and whatever other days they have. But yeah, no, I think, yeah, it was good that they locked Cortland, because they locked him up. It was like the second or third day of training camp, I think. And he didn't really practice that first day of training camp. He went out there and he was just kind of out there, and then they locked him up, and next thing you know, he's out there just dominating. As soon as I don't even think the ink dried. He probably like hit X on his phone or something, and it was just like, all right, caught a ball. Dropped his phone, caught a ball, because he was just ready to go. So I'm glad they were able to get that early, and they knew exactly when to do it. And yeah, Philly does a great job of that, of locking up their players. I mean, we saw they locked up Saquon already, right? Like, if he goes out and has another season this season like last season, gosh, you're like, dang, yeah, they got a value bin, right? So,
but is he able to repeat it? It seemed like this last game, everybody was pretty ready for him. He didn't get nearly the game that was expected, and like that's the difference between him and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, everyone knows the game plan with the Baltimore Ravens, and yet he still went out there and got 175 rushing yards somehow. Like, how does that happen when you know the game plan?
I know. I think Saquon had one more yard than Javonte Williams, right?
Yeah.
But one less touchdown. Javonte Williams outperformed Saquon. Got a whole lot of money. No, but I think Saquon will be fine. We'll see it. I think that first game, I don't know. Looking at the Eagles game, I think really having Jalen Carter taken out in the first 6 seconds, I think that really changed that entire game, because I don't know. I saw the Eagles just kind of being a little bit more dominant on defense, and I think that would have opened up the running game a bit more. But man, did you not watch Saquon? His shifts, he's still there. Those quick feet, and when he powered in there, man, I think for that touchdown he had, you just see him run over the play. I don't know. I think Saquon's going to be good, but it was just a game like with AJ Brown only having four passes thrown his way or something like that. I think it was just the game plan just got thrown out the window, honestly. And like,
yeah, 100%. And it really killed me because I had AJ Brown on my fantasy league, and I was like, come on now.
I mean, that's the thing. You kind of look at, man, I said it last season, at the beginning of the season. I think I said it the season before. The Philly, they just got so many playmakers, man, that especially fantasy wise, I wouldn't look towards any Philly players for the most part outside of Jalen Hurts and Saquon.
Yeah.
And look, you see, even Saquon, you can't really depend on that much. If you got Jalen Hurts, man, he can put his cape on at any moment and take the game over, quite honestly. So it's like, well, what is he gonna do today? Who's he throwing it to today? And you saw, I mean, Devontae Smith had a pretty decent game. So
that's a good question. QJ or Coleman, QJ and Shakir, or Coleman and Shakir?
You got Josh Allen, right? Probably. Oh, man, why are people so big on Quentin? Everybody went and jumped on Quentin Johnson. He had 2 touchdowns. Then you got Haney Chargers fan over here thinking that Chargers about to win the Super Bowl. Everybody thinks Quentin Johnson's about to be the next Justin Jefferson. I don't know. And Keon Coleman had a really good game, didn't he, last week?
Last week, yeah, but he's also like Quentin Johnson, where he had a rough last year.
Yeah. I mean, all the Bills receivers had a rough last year, though.
Yeah.
I think
I would go Coleman and Shakir, honestly.
Yeah, if you got Josh Allen, right, you stack it up, right?
Yeah.
Get all them points from them. They're all going to get points.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't know how big I am on Quentin Johnson. Yeah, Herbert came out and said, yeah, I was looking for Johnson, but you got Keenan Allen, you got Ladd McConkey. They got to eat, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's a tough one, but yeah, I don't see Quentin Johnson having, the same game every week that he had this last week.
Not at all. Who are the Chargers playing? Let's see.
I guess that's a big factor. It don't matter who the
Well, they got 14 tight ends running out. Oh, they're playing the Raiders. Quentin Johnson is still the number 3 receiver. I don't think he's in. They're gonna be like, Quentin Johnson is not beating us, guys. He is not having 2 touchdowns. He's not having 1 touchdown on us. They're probably gonna try to lock him down. I see Keenan Allen eating. I see Ladd McConkey for sure getting those red zone targets, because if the Raiders got him locked down in the red zone, he's probably gonna look towards Ladd McConkey. I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't know anything. Talk to me after week 4, and then we can see where the consistency is on this stuff, right?
Yeah. No, Coleman had a good one. And that's one thing is Josh Allen. He'll look at every single one of his players before he decides to run it. He's even while he's running and considering crossing the line of scrimmage, he's still looking at his players downfield. So I mean, his receivers, even running backs, are all options to him. So I mean,
right. And their running game didn't really pop last week, so they're probably looking to get that started. Brock Bowers may be out, so shoot. Who knows? The Raiders might not have a passing game really too much this week. It may be, the Chargers may have more chances on offense. You may see them running the ball a bit more.
Yeah, and no Bosa on the Chargers. I mean, that might open up the run game for the Raiders.
What? No Bosa?
I don't think so, is it?
I don't know. Let me change my lineup. I think I just put Nick Bosa in. Or wait, no, the other Bosa. Joey Bosa. Let me see.
I guess he is still in.
Is he in?
Yeah. I think I heard it was through an article that he was dealing with some calf soreness or strain.
That's okay. Chargers suck anyway. You're going to lose. Chargers are going to lose, and the Raiders are going to lose today or Sunday. I'm calling it right now. So if you're a betting guy, then bet on the Chargers and the Raiders to lose this game, guys. You heard it here. The bus driver said it. It's going to happen. But let's see. Injuries for the Chargers. I don't see Bosa on there.
Okay. So he's probably good to go then.
Yeah. Which means, man, Geno Smith probably see a lot more of Ashton Genty. Hopefully, right? So I don't know. What was the question? Should you start QJ and Coleman? I'd start Shakir or Coleman and Shakir,
Yeah, same. Honestly, I feel like
you said.
because it don't matter who the Bills are going up against. Josh Allen's running that thing everywhere and throwing that ball everywhere.
They're going up against the Jets, who let Aaron Rodgers throw all over them. So now you got Aaron Rodgers that can run, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'd go with those Bills and ride them out.
Yeah,
ride them till you can't ride them no more.
And it's Bills and Jets. I mean, honestly, Sauce Gardner can't cover every receiver.
Not at all. And those aren't even their main receivers, right? So he'll probably he said he's gonna be a traveling guy, so I think he'll be traveling with the number one. Who is their number one? I guess Keon Coleman technically is the number one, but if you still got Shakir as your number two, who's your flex? I'd probably put who's your flex because I might sprinkle in some. If you have a flex, I'd probably put Johnson in that flex spot. But I don't have no faith in Johnson because the Chargers suck. Yo, you down to take a promo break really quick?
Yeah, I'm down.
Step away for a second, guys. Hit that like button. Keep rocking with us all, guys. I like this convo right now. Getting into definitely see we're working our way into this weekend. Talk about the game. So we'll step away, hit you with that Shady Sports promo, and should be back here in like a minute or so. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You're rocking with Gemini Statik over here at the bus stop, holding it down. Let's see. Oh gosh, I can't click buttons right today or something. I was like, how do I get this off here? All right, we'll be right back. Yeah, we'll be right back, guys.
My name is Anton Popoff, and this is my 6th year of college football. Training during the hottest times of the day is a recipe for muscle cramps, which is why electrolytes are so important. Hydration is crucial for my performance. Dragon Salt eliminates muscle cramps and boosts your overall energy level. Whether it's a weight room or field session, I fuel up with Dragon Salt beforehand. It's been a game changer for me, and it'll be a game changer for you.
Yes, sir. Got the Dragon Salt. Go ahead and use that Shady Sports tag, and you get 10% off, I believe, over there at Dragon Salt. So follow us on all the networks, guys. We everywhere you want to be. You can find Shady Sports Network there. And we are growing. Come grow with us, especially over on YouTube, especially on X. And then LinkedIn. We've been growing on LinkedIn too. So if you're on LinkedIn, keeping it professional over there, come follow us there. We're there as well too. Yeah, so man, we're kind of moving into looking at the game. So we kind of touched on this Buffalo Jets game. Who you got winning that game?
Buffalo, definitely.
Yeah,
I loved what I saw from Justin Fields, though, honestly. He seems to be doing really good over there. I think that's definitely their go-to for the next, foreseeable future. I'm happy to see him finally land in a spot where he's solidified his position as a starting quarterback. He's earned it. He's got the stature, he's got the performance, he's got the everything you need in a number one quarterback. So seeing Fields in a position like that is great. I think Fields and Allen matchup is going to be a good one to see, but I think the Bills are just going to, dog walk the Jets just because, you can't rely on just one player. You can't rely on just one side of the ball. Bills have it both ways, whether it be offense or defense.
Yeah. And I mean, we saw, obviously that comeback last week against the Ravens, who probably saw the best two teams in the NFL playing last week on the first week of the season. So it's not all the time we get treated with that for the first game of the season where we see two high-profile teams. But, man, probably see those teams again, if not meet and seeing both of them in the playoffs, right? So We saw what that defense can do when it needs to be done, and we saw what they can do against the running quarterback specifically. So I don't think well, I mean, yeah, shoot. I guess Breece Hall is kind of up there on that second tier right below Derrick Henry, right? So it's not like he's a slouch either. So it'll be interesting to see if this game is kind of similar, something where maybe the Jets get off early and will the Bills have to? I think the Bills are going to get off the entire game. But could we see a back and forth game like the shootout between the Steelers and the Jets last weekend? I don't know. I think it'll be a high scoring game, but yeah, I think the Bills are definitely going to pull this one out.
Right. Yeah, I agree to that. And, the Ravens, they get luckily, like even kind of, they go against the Bills, and then this week they go against the Browns. So I can see them obviously taking the Browns.
The Ravens?
Yeah.
I know, isn't what's his name? I don't even know his player's name. He's talking trash on Derrick Henry. Well, I guess not talking trash. Said Derrick Henry was easy to take down. So, I mean, I'm looking for Derrick Henry to have 2, if not 3 touchdowns in this game, especially like having Lamar Jackson as his quarterback. Lamar's gonna be like, "Hey, dog, go ahead and eat, man. Just go ahead and eat." Right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's that little back and forth spat. So I think they're just going to run all over the Browns. And I think the Browns are going to wish that old boy didn't say anything. I mean, they're already having troubles in their room. Who's their number one receiver? Who's their quarterback, right? Joe Flacco gets knocked out. That's a whole story after that, right? So we'll see what's going on. They're not even giving Shador practice reps. So it's basically just what's-his-face, Jackson or Dylan Gabriel or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Derrick Henry, like you said, 169 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns last week against the Bills, against a really good Bills defense, right? I don't think the Browns are as good as the Bills defense, and especially if they're having to play catch up, they're definitely not going to be as good. I know Myles Garrett, obviously beast and game record back there, but gosh, I don't see them if the Ravens start getting off like they got off against the Bills. I don't see the Browns coming back. No. Yeah, they did. They looked good last week, and they had their little game, and you're like, oh, they're gonna win and this and that. But I don't know. I don't see the Browns doing a whole lot going against the Ravens.
Right. And then going back to the Broncos, my prediction was 27-13. And then do you remember what yours was? Your prediction?
Wasn't mine like what was my prediction? Last week? Oh, I should have wrote it down. I think I did write it down.
It ended up being 20-12, so I was only off by one on the Titans and 1 touchdown by the Broncos.
Yeah.
I think you were closer. I'm pretty sure you said something like 20. I think you said like 28-17 or something like that.
I think it was something like that, like 29, 28. So like 7. I think it was like 28-17. A game of field goals.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a game of field goals, though. We were both like pretty much dead on.
Yeah.
What are you feeling for this week against the Broncos and the Colts? Because I mean, you got the Colts put up like 8 million points last week. Seems like they scored a touchdown from space every time Danny Dimes touched the ball. High scoring affair.
And, just fell a little bit short to the Packers. And so, I honestly think it's going to be a repeat for the Colts where, Daniel Jones he went 7-11 for 101 passing yards. And I think
oh, no, you're talking about Jaden Daniels. You're looking at a Thursday night game, bruh. Are you talking about Jaden Daniels?
No.
I think Danny Dimes had almost 300 yards last week. They played – who did they play? They played Miami, bro. Yeah, they got off easy last week. They played a team who doesn't even know what they want to do. They got rid of Jalen Ramsey. They got rid of their tight end, Jonnu Smith.
Who Jalen Ramsey looked really good, honestly.
For the Steelers? Yeah. It looked all right. I mean, the Jets still got off on the Steelers. But I mean, Cam Ward got off a few plays too on the Broncos. So
Yeah, and
even
you're
though,
right, he went 22 for 29 for 272 and a touchdown.
yeah, I mean, he was. I
And
think he was like the number 2 or 3 fantasy quarterback last week. Only
behind.
because Josh Allen went, astronomical.
Yeah,
His comeback.
exactly. Yeah, so I don't see a repeat of that. Honestly, I see
Not at all.
I see no fly zone taking effect. I see him getting somewhere around like I'd say 13 for 22 or something like that, for like 160 yards or something. And I'd say he probably gets a touchdown on us. I could see him throwing a Pittman on like a 20-yard pass that cleans out our secondary, and they get a touchdown off of that. But I really feel like it's going to be, my guess would be a 22 to, I'm going to go with 22-10 victory.
Yeah, because
man,
especially if Cortland Sutton keeps his no-fly zone, if he keeps his shutdown status, and that means Michael Pittman's not catching the ball on that side of the ball. Riley Moss was holding it down pretty good. Mm-hmm. Man, come on. Jahdae Barron's looking to score. He's looking for an interception this week. So him in the slot, I don't know. I like it. I like it. I got Bo Nix bouncing back this week. And him being the quarterback who seems like he can't miss. I got Bo Nix coming out and being the quarterback more of a 25, like a 25 of like 30, dropping down, because those extra 10, 14 passes that he threw last week, they're going to turn them into run-in plays in the first quarter. So they're going to have 14 extra run-in plays between the first and second quarter, which they're just going to shut down and wear down the Tennessee defense. So I'm looking at, again, 28 to 13.
28-13 Broncos. All right. I'm writing it down this time.
Yeah, me too.
22 to 10 Broncos is what I have. 28 to 13 is what Gemini has.
Yeah, because I see Jonathan Taylor squeaking one out. Because that's the thing, man. See, Jonathan Taylor's gonna have to play good. He only had like 70 yards last week too, but if you see him, he comes out and has a Derrick Henry type game.
Yeah.
It could really open up the passing lane again for Danny Dimes. But still, I think our cornerbacks are motivated to prove something this season. I feel like they kind of got some challenges from some guys from past season, and they're motivated to go out there and do some stuff. So I think we're going to see a lot, honestly. A lockdown. I think we're going to see some challenging. That defensive front's really going to get in there, man. Gosh, you think the Green Bay defensive front looks good. When you see the Broncos defensive front locked and loaded for sure, with like a 7, 10-point lead, it's going to be something really, really nice.
Yeah, I think, everyone's going to look differently at Daniel Jones this week. They're going to see him get humbled. The Broncos, they came within literal inches of getting a safety last week against Cam Ward, just because of that defensive front. And that with my score being 22, that's a weirder score, but I see a safety coming into play to make that 22 for sure.
Yeah.
I see Danny Dimes throwing a intentional grounding out of the end zone, something like that.
Yeah. Give me one moment. I'll be right back.
And then if you guys are following in the chat, what do you think the prediction is going to be this week for the Broncos versus Colts game? It's going to be in Indianapolis, so we'll be taking them on in their own territory. Do you feel like Broncos are going to have a close game? You feel like we're going to have a good matchup? Do you feel like the Colts are going to take it somehow, and it's going to be the Broncos' first loss, and it's going to humble us? I think the opposite. I think, the Broncos are going to roll straight into week 3 against the Chargers, 2-0. I think the Chargers are a great team. It's going to be a great matchup. Me and Gemini feel a little bit differently about the Chargers. I think that they are an established team. I think that they are – I would rank them higher than the Rams the Los Angeles Rams and put them up in a higher tier in terms of experience, performance, and ability to get to the postseason over the Rams. I think the Rams are really losing their touch. The only secured spot that they do have is that Matthew Stafford. But how many seasons does he have left? Really honestly, is he going to stay consistent, or is he going to have a fall off? Similar to a lot of other people of his stature that have won a Super Bowl and quarterbacks where they had their prime and now they're past that. So it'll be interesting to kind of see.
My bad.
You're good. It'll be interesting to see how that Chargers matchup will be in terms of going into week 3 with the Broncos.
Oh, man. Chargers suck. They stomp all over them. So what do you think about some other early morning games? Are you going to be watching any? We got the Cowboys, the Giants, Patriots, and Dolphins, San Francisco and New Orleans. Cross-country matchup. That one should be decent. Any of those you, and then the Steelers and the Seahawks, any of those you looking forward to maybe checking out?
None of them are really primetime sounding games when you kind of look at it, honestly, and you hear it all out. It's just seems like it's just going to be a standard morning of football. I wouldn't say necessarily I'm looking at any of them specifically to be excited about. The Rams and Titans should be an interesting game, I guess, kind of, just because, it's a little bit of an easier team than the Broncos in terms of competition, in terms of records, performances, players, all that. The Titans have a better chance of showing what they actually really got and finding some consistency and not just getting butchered by the defense.
It's a home game too, right?
Correct, yeah, and it'll be, I believe, actually, no, I think I'm wrong. I think the new stadium isn't open until 2027, so it's not their last season in their new old stadium. But seeing progression on that new stadium is very interesting. A lot of people are calling it Top Golf Stadium just because it looks like a Top Golf, essentially. But I love the idea of it. I love the design of it. It's non-traditional. It's just a completely square kind of structure with a field in the middle of it. So I think it's unique in its own right. I love that anybody in the chat has ever been to Nashville and seen the stadium in person. It's a very unique location for the stadium to be at always, whether it's the new one or the old one, because they're right next to each other. That pedestrian crossover bridge is something to always remember. I love where Nissan Stadium's placement is. So it'll be interesting once that opens up, definitely. But yeah, no, they are playing out of their old stadium still currently. So I'm excited to see the last of, the couple seasons with that in that stadium, just because, I've been to a couple of Titans games in Nashville, and it's exciting to always go there. Their atmosphere is pretty much like nothing else, honestly. It's the sea of baby blue.
Okay, I don't think I haven't been to any games. I've been to Nashville. I haven't seen a stadium.
It's definitely unique.
I'll take your word for it. I feel like, this will be a good game for their tight end, Nkonkwo.
Yeah.
I think he's about to go off, man. I think we're about to see a little bit more out of him. I think Tony Pollard has a bit more confidence coming from last week as well too. Like you said, I just think just coming off a game where they were able to go toe and toe against supposedly the number 1 defense in the league, or number 2, number 3, and number 4, number 5 defense in the league, right? I think every other defense after that is going to kind of look a little bit easier and less challenging to them, right? And this Rams defense isn't really a whole lot to be feared. So I think you're right. I think we will see a little bit more than what we expected to see out of Tennessee. I think we're going to see some growth, man. We might see some more fireworks. We might actually see a touchdown out of Cam Ward for sure. So.
Right, and every week of NFL is always exciting, but I think this one is going to be less exciting than week 1. The week 1 matchups were pretty much there, and they were pretty awesome to see and witness as a first week. This week kind of in my opinion, would be considered like a mediocre week in terms of competitions against each other. It's pretty lopsided on every game. There's only a couple games this week where it's going to be exciting. I'd say, top one would be the Eagles and Chiefs.
Yeah, just to see, because it's a Super Bowl rematch, right? Like nothing else that, and I mean, obviously I'll be watching the Broncos game because it's the Broncos game, but yeah, I mean, besides that, I mean, maybe Houston, Tampa Bay might be exciting, maybe Chargers and the Raiders, because depending on what happens in that Eagles Chiefs game, right? I mean, somebody else is going to have another loss in the AFC West, and
right, exactly. And then you got two AFC Wests 0-2, and you got two of them that are 2-0. If it happens to go that way.
well, actually, it'd be one that'd be 1-1.
Yeah,
because
true.
there's three that are 1-0 right now. Chiefs are the only one with the loss.
The Chiefs are the bottom of the AFC West.
Look at them at the bottom.
25.
Oh man, those Chiefs, how good are they, man? Let's see. No.
It's exciting to see.
Yeah. No.
Game over.
Will that last? Probably not. I see the Raiders getting the bottom of our division inevitably, but I see them actually holding their own a little better than they had in previous seasons and all that. They do have somewhat of a structure as opposed to other seasons where they're going with Aiden O'Connell and just kind of trash. I think they have a little bit more structure and a little bit more backbone with Geno Smith. With Brock Bowers out, I see the Chargers taking that one. I see Broncos and Chargers being 2-0, Raiders being 1-1, and the Chiefs being 1-1.
Woo, let's go.
Actually, I don't know. I don't see them taking the Eagles. I could see the Chiefs going 0-2. Actually, honestly,
especially the Eagles playing like they played last week. They'll have Jalen Carter had a suspension last week, so gosh, the Chiefs play like they played against the Chargers. I don't know, man. And they lost Xavier Worthy. He's out.
Did Jalen Carter get anything other than a fine? He didn't get an extended suspension for multiple games?
He got suspended for one game. Okay. And they said that he got suspended early enough that it counted as one game.
That's fair. I mean, what was it, like 6 seconds into the game?
It was like right when it started. Yeah, I mean, it was like at coin toss, right? So he didn't play nothing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Do we know the cost associated with the fine?
Let me see. I have it somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Dang, the neighbors are partying. Jalen Carter, $57,222 for misconduct.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. It's That's some expensive saliva, man.
Yeah. Shoot, for what's his name with the Gators, it cost them the loss, man. As soon as he spit on that USF player, it was like the football guy was like, "Yeah, you're about to lose to these guys. Go ahead and take this L and go on home, guys."
You spit on him in the last 6 seconds of the game when you're up. You don't spit on him in the first 6 seconds when you don't even know if you're gonna pull it off, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Carter's just lucky.
And the Eagles are still able to pull it off without their best defensive player, so they only get their best defensive player back. We'll see what the Chiefs do, man. They're gonna have to depend a lot more on Travis Kelce. He hope he's ready.
Yeah, hopefully.
And the Eagles got the game plan, so I feel like the Chiefs are gonna be trying hard to not let the Eagles build up on that game plan, right, and make them try to blitz the quarterback, right? Those linemen are probably kicking themselves, ready to go to war, man. So, but I think the Chiefs are still gonna lose.
I think so too. Honestly, it's gonna be a repeat of the Super Bowl. I can see that game being a blowout of 36-18, doubling the score.
Yeah, especially with Jalen Worthy out.
Yeah, that was critical.
Or Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, that was critical to my fantasy team just because I had him as a starter that week, and he went out right away thanks to Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce has to be the number one at all times. Don't try and be number one on that Chiefs team because Travis Kelce will change that real fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He'll make sure he's
on target. I mean, he had 4 targets last week. He did have the big yardage, so I think that helped him. He had a touchdown that helped him. I think they'll be looking to get him another touchdown, but it's going to be hard to score against this this Eagles team, we saw what happened when they made the adjustment against the Cowboys, and Dak had a full weapon, a full plethora of weapons to choose from. So,
yeah, and CeeDee Lamb just had some legitimate drops, man, that were clear and easy, and they were typical catches for him and common catches for him, and he just dropped the ball literally, and that really changed the outcome of the game. That would have been at one point with the big catch that he had, that would have put them within scoring range, within good timing to get back out there and get the ball back still with some timeouts, and they had to burn through timeouts. They had to kick the ball. It was rough. It was rough. He really did not perform how they expected him to, and he's their franchise receiver.
Yep. And I think that was why they were so quick to get DK.
Yeah.
Or George Pickens.
Yeah.
Just because they were looking at it like that, they got to have a 1A and 1B, not a receiver 1 or receiver 2. They have to have that 1B just for those times when CeeDee Lamb isn't getting it done, so they can just make it happen.
Yeah, and I can see them flip-flopping the game plan with the Eagles and, starting to use their receivers a lot more and not relying on the running game and other receivers. I see them going to A.J. Brown and what's the other receiver?
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith. I was going to say Devon Smith, but Devontae Smith.
Yeah, no, totally, especially after last week. I think we're going to see a lot of Saquon. He's trying to get his get back and prove that he can do something because he kind of didn't have a whole lot of yardage in the Super Bowl either, right? So,
right, and he's been used as more of a decoy at this point for the past couple games.
So yeah, I think we're going to see A.J. Brown definitely getting force fed for sure, which as to be expected. I mean, you don't want to see your quarterback running all the time,
right? And then I see the Falcons-Vikings game being pretty interesting. You got Penix Jr. versus McCarthy. They both came from the same draft class. McCarthy looked really good. He was terrible in the first two quarters, and right at the end of the half, he started getting a little bit of traction. You see Justin Jefferson talking to him on the sidelines, saying that we need to get you some completions, and that's really all it took, was building up a little bit of confidence and breaking off that anxiety, that first starting game anxiety in the regular season. And JJ McCarthy looked really solid, honestly.
Yeah, he did. Man, he ended up, again, on my fantasy team, he ended up over 20 points, so it was phenomenal what he managed to do in that fourth quarter, and they were able to come back and get the win. So to do that in essentially your first start, essentially his rookie season, and again, kind of same thing with Michael Penix too. It's essentially kind of his rookie season too. So they're going toe to toe. Both guys pretty much, didn't play a whole lot. Michael Penix played a couple games last season, obviously, but nothing too serious. So I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think the Vikings still pull it out. I just think the Falcons are their defense just isn't there.
And I would agree 100%.
But it'll be kind of the same thing, right? Kind of just like with the Bears, they can hit. They got Bijan back there, best running back in the league right now. So he can score from anywhere on any type of play. So he'll get he'll go off. But I just think they won't be able to keep up.
Yeah, and I see Penix kind of having a Bo Nix season of, Bo Nix last season this year, where he's just slinging that thing everywhere. I mean, he had 42 pass attempts last week. So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, man, he's just slinging that ball everywhere. Then you get him. Where's Bijan at this point, Bijan.
Right. Well, Bijan was catching half of those, right? He had that. I know he had that screen pass for a touchdown. It was like 70, 80 yards or something. But he was catching a lot of those passes, those dump outs.
Yeah, and he only had 12 carries from the backfield. So it's just like, you got to really kind of get some balance there. Can't rely on that arm too much with Penix. You got a whole season to go ahead of you, Yeah,
I mean, they gotta have Bijan running it a bit more, man. Especially, I don't know what's up with these teams. They can go ahead and just throw it, guy. But maybe that's for the best for it, right? Let them just get the throws out. They can see stuff. They can, maybe learn to read the defense or something. Don't be scared. Whatever, they're ready for it, right?
Right, which is good to see. And team within a coaching staff having confidence in their quarterback with his first actual starting year.
Yeah, right. They're just like, we'll just go for it and see from there.
Yeah.
Whatever happens. Yeah, but like you said, there isn't really too many games.
Yeah, looking at it, it's pretty lopsided, or it's just not that interesting. Like, I mean, honestly, the 49ers and Saints don't find a lot of excitement in that. You could assume the 49ers are going to probably take that one, even without Brock Purdy. Bengals and Jaguars, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Who's going to take that one? Bills and Jets, that one's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, Patriots and Dolphins, that could be a decent matchup, but it's going to be like a battle.
Right.
It'll be a battle of the goals.
I don't know. I think Drake May is coming into his own. He still has Stephon Diggs over there too, so I think they can wake up. And their running game, man, Ramondre needs to get it going. He'll probably get it going this game. I mean, the Dolphins look like dog crap on offense.
Right.
So we'll see.
Exactly. And then, you got Panthers, Cardinals. Cardinals have a hard fall off, man. I don't know what's going on with Kyler Murray in Arizona. It seems like it's just not – they're nothing to be feared. They're not looked at as like a power ranking team in top 10 or anything like that. So
we'll see. I think they'll get better, and they got the pieces. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a touchdown last week. I think he'll probably get another touchdown this week. We'll see. McBride go off. They got McBride, man, and then that one running back behind James Conner, man. It seems like they've been trying to get him the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I think the highlight games would be Eagles, Chiefs, maybe Bucks and Texans, and then the Chargers, Raiders for AFC West divisional kind of rankings.
Yeah, so I mean, and because it's the late game too, Chargers, Raiders, so it's like, okay, I guess if we're forced to watch it, we'll watch it.
I think the fun game that everyone's gonna have highlights on and everything like that is that Bucks Texans game. You got Baker Mayfield and CJ Stroud going head to head. Those are two great quarterbacks in their own right. Baker Mayfield always has something to prove. He's always fun to watch, honestly. So, I can see the Texans pulling ahead on Tampa Bay and Tampa Bay doing what they do and having like this immaculate comeback and, Baker going off and doing his thing, whether it's with his legs or whether it's with his arm.
I look for Nico Collins, man, having himself a game in this one, going up against that NFC South, man, their lack of defense. I think we're going to see Nico have himself a day for sure.
And I know you're the injury report specialist for Shady Sports. Is Tank Dell back?
Tank Dell's not back. You're going to see more Nick Chubb. I don't think Tank Dell will be back for a while. Right? Tank Dell. Because he's on the PUP, so is that at least 4 weeks?
Yeah.
No, they say he's expected to miss the entire season.
Whoo, man.
I don't know why I referenced Nick Chubb, but I did not even know. I thought Tank Dell was back. I think I said something on him about a game because I thought he was back too this season. But yeah, I guess he'll be out the entire season.
Oh, well, yeah.
And I was thinking about Joe Mixon, actually.
He tore his ACL, his LCL, and his MCL. Okay.
Yeah, he is done skis, and then there hasn't really been any updates on Joe Mixon's injury. It's just he is just kind of out, so he might be out for the whole season too.
Yeah, and it's huge, man. It's huge, and Stephon Diggs having his injury battles and late in his career from where he used to be with the Bills. It's devastating to a franchise like the Texans when they were promised so much when they secured Stephon Diggs. They thought he was the missing piece and like the missing link to success there, and then everything was kind of just gradually fell apart for them.
Well, I mean, yeah, you look at it, yeah, right. Like he left, he went over to the Patriots, and now they got Christian Kirk as their second receiver, right? Like big difference from you were expecting to see a Nico, a Stephon Diggs, a Tank Dell, Joe Mixon, what's his face out there, tight end Dalton Schultz. He even, he kind of hasn't been doing a whole lot for them at all. Yeah. So it's a big difference from last season. I mean, they got like every guy that you can think of they had to bring in. They drafted Jalen Noel, who I don't think has done a whole lot. They got Jaden Higgins they brought in. So they traded for a lot of names that you don't even normally hear over in the offseason and brought those guys in. And they still have Nico Collins, but yeah, it is not the Texans team we expected to see at the beginning of last season for sure. It's miles away from that. So it'll be interesting to see what CJ Stroud does. Their offensive line is still crap. They did a little build it up. So I think, like you said, maybe something where they happen to get up early in this game, but Tampa Bay is probably going to stretch and claw back because both teams are going to be worn out by the time you get to the fourth quarter.
Right.
But yeah, it's a whole totally different team, right? You got Nick Chubb as their starting running back. Hopefully it's a resurgence for him. I mean, it's not a bad option to have as your starting running back, but just really not the team we expected to see, even at the start of this season. But yeah, no, not really too many games. Looking forward to watching tomorrow, but it's football, so it'll be a day
it's always
of watching
exciting.
it.
Always
Yeah.
exciting.
You got DK going back to play the Seahawks, so it's a homecoming game. Seems like there'll probably be a homecoming game every week this season. So we'll see. It's on, and then Green Bay just looked super dominant against the Commanders last Thursday. It was crazy to see how fast Michael Parsons moves, and there's always talks about him being hurt. It's like he does not look hurt to me. I don't know what the heck Dallas was seeing or thinking, but they whatever. What about music, man? We got some music.
Nothing like too. It seems like music is starting to drop off as the summer comes to an end. People are holding out for like those midwinter releases. But the exciting thing is that Jermaine Dupri has released a new album, Magic City.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. He must have been bored. He was like, if Logic can do it, I can do it.
Right. Exactly. So very interesting to see Jermaine Dupri have a release after, I think it's been 20 plus years since we've seen anything from him in terms of like actually him dropping something. I'm sure he's been highly involved in production still and everything like that, but for him to have his name on something.
Yeah, you got some names too. I mean, it's crazy. Well, you see Ludacris, you see CeeLo on there.
ATL.
All ATL, T.I., 2 Chainz, Young Dro.
Yep.
And then even newer guys, YFN Lucci. You got Belly Gang Cushington on there. Come on, man. He went deep into the cuts. Killer Mike, Jagged Edge, Lil Scrappy, Lil John, Pastor Troy. Come on.
All of ATL came out for this one.
Big Meech, Rich Homie Quan. This is Bow Wow. You gotta listen to this just off GP. You just gotta go listen to it. I know what I'll be rocking this weekend.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I haven't gotten to listen to too much of it yet, but that was one thing I seen that I was like, no way, get out of here.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. Okay, he knew what he was doing with that one. That's a good one. That's definitely I give that one. That's a cool one for sure. Definitely. I didn't even listen to all of it, but just off the track list, I'm like, dang, this looks fire.
Yeah. Bringing a lot of early, late 2000s ATL out. It's been a minute since 2 Chainz has come out with anything too as well, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, saw Ice Cube drop the full album.
Yep, he finally dropped his album.
Yo, Timbaland got an album out? Got a single. What year is this? Bro, what year is this? 2006? Justin Bieber got an album, 21 Pilots, Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube. What's going on?
It's seeming like it's early, late 2000s all over again.
Yo Gabba Gabba got an album out. What you know about that?
Hey, I'm going to be bumping that anytime I pick up my kid.
There you go, right? Yeah, keep something for everyone.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we got Ice Cube, Jermaine Dupri. 21 Pilots, for any of the 21 Pilot fans out there. They got a whole new album out.
Yeah.
It's their first release in probably 5-something years.
Wow.
Ed Sheeran has a new album out.
Look like Juicy J and Rick Ross got a track out. Money Fly.
Hmm.
I think it just dropped yesterday.
Yeah, and then Polo G dropped a new track.
Polo G. Dang. Yeah, not really a whole lot for the way hip hop. Music still dropping stuff though. I guess pop still dropping stuff.
Right.
So Mobb Deep was about to drop an album.
Mobb Deep.
Yeah. I just randomly came across that. Let me see if I can find anything on it, see if there's a date on it yet. I know, I was like, come on now. Like, okay. If we're getting some good music coming out, I'm here for it for sure.
Right.
Like Infinite dropping October 15th, October 10th. They got one track out so far, Against the World.
Okay.
Dang. You guys better hear it here live because it's probably going to get deleted on the replays, just to let you know. But no, yeah, they got one track out so far. They'll probably.
Turn me to a monster, addicted to when they scream. You had one hit in your life, 1 second of fame. One of you niggas act up, everybody pays. All of you niggas back up, or I'ma start spraying.
Yeah, I am interested to see who else is going to be on this. They don't even have any other names. It just shows it'll be a 15-track album. So I wonder who's going to pop up on this. Yeah. Let's see. Shoot, Atmosphere next week.
Yes, sir.
Immortal Technique.
Yeah, and then Cunning Linguist. Is it Jedi Mind Tricks too? No, I don't think Jedi Mind Tricks is.
No, I think it's just Cunning Linguist.
Yeah.
Or no, yeah, just Cunning Linguist.
Yeah, and how it's labeled is Atmosphere and Friends.
Mariah Carey's dropping an album next week or in 2 weeks. That'd be crazy. Florence and the Machine dropping an album. So we got some good music that coming out. Is slow. Roddy Ricch coming out with something in October.
Yeah, and I think this is just that weird time of year for everybody to not drop anything because it's post-summer. They're waiting for
it. You got Cardi B dropping an album. And I was just thinking, man, Cardi B is so wild how Sexy Red is the evolution of Cardi B. And I was just like, feel like I was just thinking like, dang, Cardi B was like the evolution of Nicki Minaj. And then like, just fast forward like 5 years, Sexy Red is just like 10 times what Cardi B is. You know, I don't know. That's how I feel. But like, she came from that tree, right? That era of lineage or whatever. A$AP Rocky got an album that'll be coming out. Big L, what the heck?
Big L
got some music somebody put together. I wonder what DJ worked on that.
Oh boy, that'll be a big one. I've always been a Big L fan, man.
Right. Yeah, so there's some stuff that'll be dropping as the year goes on. So we got some stuff coming. But yeah, it's kind of slowed down. We got an influx. We got everything that came really, right? So that's cool though. I like that people weren't like hesitant to drop their music. We got a lot of it. We saw multiple albums over the summer. I thought the first season of the Bus Stop, we had some bangers, man. I can't wait to see, roll into the next, music drop summer to see what we have to go. Be like, oh, you remember this drop last year? How's that compare to this? So,
Right.
see, it looks like Jermaine Dupri may just be this month's version of Logic, right? So it'll be interesting to see if he drops anything else on top of that, because I imagine he probably just has like tracks on tracks on tracks, and it's like, once you go to use the bathroom and take that piss, right? Like once you open the floodgates, it just can't stop. So
Right.
hopefully we get an influx more music out of the way. It looks like there's all these guys, Timbaland, this track. So
what was your album of the summer, I would say, that or even track of the summer that came out that we talked about?
Track of the summer, gosh, I would have to say probably, dang, looking back, there's a lot too. I'm just like rocking a D Smoke album.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just a D Smoke head, so everything he puts out, I just like it. So I just like his entire album. I've been playing that the past couple of weeks recently. Before that, though, some stuff going back. I mean, gosh, I don't even think my list will even let me go back to see what all tracks we came out over. Oh, wait, here we go. That came out. Shoot, man. I probably got to respect the Logic and Juicy J album.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good one, definitely.
Because that one was different. I thought I liked the direction it kind of took stuff in.
Yeah. I think, man, I'm looking back through mine.
Yeah, which one for you? I mean, you dropped them all.
I think it had to be the JID and Eminem.
Oh yeah, they oh man, I just saw some JID production was so fire. JID's pretty sick, man.
Yeah, either that or it had to be one of the Denzel Curry millions of features that he came out with this summer.
Yeah,
it was the summer of Denzel Curry.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was the Tech 9 Lil Wayne single.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick. Yeah, see, there's so many good songs though, and then I've been seeing a lot of videos about that Lil Wayne rocket, that heavy metal song he got, and people just not feeling it, but it's different. It was like, it is what it was.
Right. For somebody who like typically listen to just one specific genre, it's probably not going to hit. But for people like us that could appreciate all different aspects of music in general, it was unique. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite and I loved it and this and that, but it was different, and that's what's needed in the music industry. Sometimes it can't always be basic blueprints to what you always listen to.
That's totally true. Lupe Fiasco, I forgot he had dropped some stuff. There's a lot of stuff over the summer, man.
Yeah, did you take a listen to that new Offset and JID song "Bodies" with Drowning Pool?
No.
It's also kind of like that Tech 9 kind of change of like genres almost. Just because it was a mash of the two genres from Drowning Pool with Let the Bodies Hit the Floor and hip hop.
Yeah.
And they performed it at, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel, one of the late night shows. They performed Bodies.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting one where it's different, and I like it.
I like different. Yeah, try something different. Who cares about the same stuff?
Right.
There's millions of tracks that are the same stuff. I don't want to hear it. Do something different.
Right, exactly. And that's where, I love Atmospheres. Atmospheres never gone the traditional route. He's always been unique in his own right. He's always done his own thing. He's always had his style.
Yeah, right. His album's still dropping slowly but surely too, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, because that drops in September. Oh, yeah, Friday.
Oh, was that an underground one we missed?
No, the Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Gestures. We talked about it. He's just slowly been dropping tracks. He only has 3-4 tracks out.
Okay.
And then it fully drops next Friday. So they'll probably debut it at the at Red Rocks.
Yeah, because that's like his second home essentially, man. He loves being in Red Rocks. He loves Denver.
Dang, we gotta go backstage. There'll be some type of video. I bet they'll be filming for it.
Right.
It'll be pretty sick. Yeah, so his album be out next Friday. So we'll have some good songs too. So next Saturday, maybe we'll try to do the show, guys. We'll see. Maybe we can get some footage from Friday night, and then we'll just have like some pre-recorded stuff or something to play Saturday morning. Because I tell you what, if I'm going to Red Rocks Friday night, it's gonna be rough Saturday morning. I would say
it might be a 10:30 start time to that episode.
Right, it takes a little bit to get that buster going. You know, it's an old truck. You can't just. And once you're going, they're like, all right, now we're rolling around. Like, what's up, guys? Hey, everyone, we riding. But we got to make sure it starts, though. So
exactly.
And it's going to be a good night of music. So we'll have a lot of music updates for you still, either way, over the next couple of weeks. Yeah, man. I still think, there's still some stuff coming up, but slowly but surely it's slowing down all across the board. I think that's how it goes. You know, you start seeing like the TV shows come back around the fall.
Yeah.
Not so much with music.
Yeah, and there's also, you know, other entertainment purposes that kind of take priority. You know, you don't want to
football.
Yeah, you don't want to release anything when everyone's watching football and not paying attention to music.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, you got the start of hockey season. You got the start of basketball season. We're 37 days away from NBA season starting.
Mm-hmm. All the sports are here, especially as we go into October, right? October, you got all the sports going on at once. So, it's gonna be interesting to see the developments on like the women's soccer team. It's gonna be interesting to see the developments on just all types of movement here just in Denver alone. So I know sports galore here. We can't get enough. So we'll probably be all over the place back and forth. We have even the indoor football team starting, the Colorado Spartans and the Pueblo Punishers. Their season's getting started up next month. You know, so
Denver's about to look a whole lot different here in the next probably 6 years or so. You know,
right?
New football stadium, new women's soccer stadium. You know, I have Ball Arena still in the same spot, but a pivotal spot for where they're at. I don't see them ever moving just because of where they're at. Their location is pretty prime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and they've already bought up like Elitch's and stuff, so they're just gonna build out their city in that area.
Right.
So there's gonna be a lot of different, you know, downtown city points all the way down to Castle Rock, where the soccer team will be at. So.
Right. And it'll be interesting to see what they develop in the old Broncos Stadium area once that gets.
Well, they're saying like apartments or condos, so
yeah.
As usual, they'll be throwing up, you know, some freaking 4-foot wide townhomes, right? Calling it premium luxury. Right. So because they'll have that and the parking lot from the old stadium, so they have all that space to just fill up really quick, especially if the Tronkies are building up their little city right there at Elitch's. They probably are going to try to rent that land, right? Throw some properties on top of it, because it'll be like houses, and then right there and Elitch's will be like bars and stuff and like a downtown area. So it's going to fill up super quick.
There's not going to be any parking for games pretty much anywhere.
No. Right? Where do you park now at Ball Arena? I think you can't park at the games anyway. No, you can.
Yeah, you can, but they're getting rid of it. They're getting rid of all the parking lots, and they're going to – it's going to be all light rail based. It's going to be all RTD based.
Just walk. You don't need to drive.
Yep.
You're drinking at the game. Denver's so small, you can catch light rail from probably anywhere.
Yeah,
It'd be
exactly.
good. Get down there, honestly. Like,
Get your electric scooter. Get your electric scooter subscriptions.
that's what I was about to say. Get your electric bike. I'm actually looking into probably gonna buy an electric bike this next year. Honestly,
You got to
get
look
to work
out for
like
those.
that.
Yeah, you got to get your hands on one of those vouchers they give out.
I know. Shoot, look that up right now. Vouchers, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, get up to $1,400 in savings.
Yeah. Yeah, those vouchers go a long way. If people are
Oh,
not.
it's closed.
Yeah, they only release them every I want to say 4 to 6 months or something like that. And
Oh,
when they do release them, you gotta be on the waiting list. You gotta get in quick. And it's hard to get your hands on one, but if you do, you save up to $1,400.
oh, you still got 450 tax credit at e-bike retailers.
Okay,
That's not bad, right? How can't be that?
1,400 off of a $3,200 bike.
$450 off.
Yeah, 450 off of 3,200 is pretty good, but those $1,400 vouchers are where it's at.
Yeah, and that dropped down to 225 on January 1st.
So you can get yourself you can still use that $450 tax credit on top of the voucher, and you're paying for a $3,200 bike. You're paying $1,000 out of pocket or something.
$3,200 bike.
Yeah, they get up there, man. They get up
I thought
there.
they're like $500.
Nah, they get extended. I'm sure there's some that are like $1,000, but that's on the cheaper end. There's some that go up to like $5-6 grand. I'm sure.
Let's see. Basalt bike and ski. Let's see how much they got them for. Of course, they're like, yeah, you gotta talk to us. You want to see these prices.
Right. That's how a lot of them are. And, the cheapest one I'm seeing right now is around like that $1,500 mark, $1,200.
Yeah, you're right. Cause this is 35% off.
Yeah, and
And that drop it is 6,700, almost 7,000. Wow. Yeah, where's that $1,400 rebate at? Find that joint.
You gotta get
that joint.
Gotta get a bank loan to get an e-bike these days.
That's wild. I might as well get a motorcycle.
Right.
Paying that much for an e-bike. I don't want to pedal at all then. I was like $700. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, $400. I'll pedal some. Nah, I'm good right now. Shoot, man. Anything else you want to touch on?
I think we touched on everything we got so far.
I know, man. I did want to talk about the Joker. I know it's also a story about Joker going up against Slim Jesus. I guess there's this Dutch phenomenon. I don't know his name. They call him Slim Jesus. He's only like 18, senior year in high school, playing in that Euro Championship or tournament.
Mika Marinin or something like that.
Sure. We'll probably see him in the NBA in the next 2 seasons. Finland. Yeah, from Finland. Mika Marinin.
Marinin. Mika Marinin.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. It'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think I was just going over some of Jokic's last year's stats and all that, and reading articles and stuff like that. And it's amazing what this man has done in a season, man. Nobody, just the third person ever in NBA history to average a triple-double over a season. He's doing unheard of things, man. It's crazy to think that he's not a 4-time MVP. And
I was gonna say it's crazy to think that the one tarnish is because that fools are straight hating, right? He should be a back-to-back MVP.
Yeah, he's got 5 of them things.
Yeah, so It says the new rule change impacts him more than anybody else. The rule change where if you're launching it up in the last couple seconds, it does count towards your shooting average. He don't care. He just still shoot.
Exactly. Ain't gonna deter him from throwing that ball.
Nope. Led the league with 22 heave attempts last season, and he knocked down 2 of them.
2 for 22 is some Bronny James Jr. stats, though.
Yeah, but even if you include those 22 heaves, he still shot 57.6% from the field and 41.7% from 3-point. Without those heaves, he shot 58% and 44%. So it's still pretty incredible what he has.
Right.
Honestly, like, so either way you look at it, I'm like, dang, yeah. Like, you can't beat that with the bat. I'm here for it. I love it.
Yep. And coming from somebody who's plays center of all positions, like, you're never going to see those stats from Shaq.
No, not at all.
That's why whenever he's giving his Jokic hate, I just shrug it off and take it with a grain of salt because, I mean, he's doing things Shaq only dreamed about.
And much more. That's the thing. Like, I don't know, like, and you normally see like a center, yeah, they have impressive field goal percentages because they're just doing like, dunks and layups. But that 3-point shot, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you're pretty much looking at a point guard, right? Like, just a big point guard, man. And it is starting to change the game. Like, you're seeing all these big guys coming in. They got to have more skills. Like, Wemby has to have more skills, what's his face over at OKC has to have more skills. Like, it's not just about posting up and sitting up under there, catching rebounds and throwing it back up, right? It's about having actual basketball IQ, basketball knowledge, and basketball skills to be able to handle the ball and take over a game. If you're going to be a big guy, man, you got to go against these other big guys that can actually do it. You can't just kind of hide away and come and step in whenever you I don't know. Maybe they still will have like defensive players, but I don't think so.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy to see the dynamics and how things have changed over the course of 2 decades, even through looking back at the 90s and putting in 3 decades. It's crazy to see how far things have come.
Yeah. To see like I think well, I think even in just the past 5 years to see how far things have come and changed up,
Yeah.
I don't know. But it does, I guess it's still good to see, back to the Joker, to see him, still getting his props and his accolades, and to see they're trying to change things just to specifically affect his future. It's so scary because they just know, like, no matter what they do and throw at him, he's just going to dominate and overcome it. So,
Exactly.
you see, I don't know why they hate so much of the Nuggets. It's like they just can't have the Nuggets be what they really are right now.
Yeah, they're just pushing us away from being marketable for some reason. It's like, no matter what you do, I mean, we're still Denver. We still got that's what they thought about with the Broncos back in, the 80s and the 90s. And eventually we got our back-to-back championship, and that changed the whole dynamic of the team, where it's just like, oh, no, this is one of the top 10 teams every year. And then, we had our fall-off season where they're like, Broncos aren't where they should be. And, now we're back on the incline, and now we're looked at as one of the more dominant teams again. We're top 15 power ranking throughout 32 teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they start to get that recognition. I feel like the Broncos always get the recognition now. Like, they can't wait to like prop up the Broncos, because usually when we're good, we're dominant for sure. They just like hate the Nuggets, man. They hate on the Avalanche, which I don't know why they hate on the Avalanche. It's pretty much a Canadian team. What are you hating on Canada for, brah? Coming out here and doing it the right way, eh? But yeah, like I don't know. Yep. I think they just don't want that small market to get that love, and you're seeing players wanted to come and play for the Broncos in the offseason. Players wanted to come and play for the Nuggets in the offseason. That's a good sign, and I think that's what they're trying to avoid. They want the players to be in the New York, and they want and be in LA and Miami and be where, the big name markets. But screw that. Like, heck nah, shift that tide. Bring the money over here.
Yeah, and it's even the same with the Avalanche, even, that the predictions for the Colorado Avalanche is that Nate McKinnon and Netchis might be some of the best two on the ice players to really perform this season. If they can really connect and build a connection and play well together, they're going to be a dominant force on the ice. And then we have, our captain back and Gabriel Landeskog. A lot of people are predicting the Avalanche to make it all the way this year again, and that's kind of how they always look at the Avalanche, and it's either the Avalanche or the Dallas Stars for our conference.
Yeah. Because they came out with a ranking, and the Avalanche had like 3 of their players in the top 10. I think it was of the overall of like the top 20 or something in their ranking. So that was good to see how they do notice and they do see that, and they understand that we do have some solid pieces over here in Denver on all of our teams. And it's exciting to be over here and watch it, man, to be able to see that, because there was a few years where we had no pieces on any of the teams. And it's just like, well, maybe next year it'll be okay. And the current season hadn't even started. So
yeah, we force our recognition out there. It's earned by Denver. That's one thing that I love and appreciate, is that it's not given to us like other places like LA or New York or any of those places where it's just a given, or Chicago even for that matter. It's very well earned in Denver. Just 2 seasons ago we had Nate McKinnon handing over the NBA MVP trophy over to Jokic, and then a couple weeks later Jokic is out on the ice giving Nate McKinnon his MVP trophy, and that was the first time that's ever been done by any city for any 2 pro teams for NHL and NBA.
Mm-hmm. After they won the championship one after another. So it's just been exciting to be a part of that for sure, I think. And to see it continue to evolve. Well, shoot, man, I think that's about all I have today.
Same. We got 22-10 for me on the Broncos and against the Colts this week, and then we got 28-13 for Gemini. Broncos taking that win. We will follow up next weekend, as always, 9:30 Mountain Standard Time, the bus stop every Saturday, to see how accurate those predictions are. We'll see who gets closer. I think I notched Gemini out in last week's prediction just by a hair. So we're pretty on point with our predictions right now of how the season's going for the Broncos. We expect them to improve each and every week. With them, with me, I think it was a 12-5 record is what I have for an end season prediction.
I think I was there too. I think we both had the 12-5 record for the prediction. And then I had for this week my prop bet for the Broncos. I got the under 43.5. Anytime or 1+ touchdown for Jonathan Taylor. I got him scoring a touchdown. I got RJ Harvey going over 35 yards. Cortland Sutton catching over 50 yards, and Jonathan Taylor having over 60 yards. So I think it's a pretty solid bet. But I definitely don't see them scoring a whole lot of points. I think, I just did the 1 touchdown with Jonathan Taylor. I don't know. The last week is like, shoot, I expect a bunch of field goals going with this game.
Right. Yeah, I think it's going to take a few more weeks before we see a Broncos blowout. I could see the Bengals and Broncos game being high scoring, but on both sides. I would probably say that Giants-Broncos games is when we'll see our first blowout score, where the Broncos really just run amok all over the Giants, and it's going to be an absurd score of, like something like 38-6 or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think if our defense can lock it in by then, because that's what, week 4?
I think that's week 7 or 8. Let's see.
It's a little farther. So I think our defense can lock it in.
Yeah, week 7.
Yeah. So I think you'll see a different tune by then, and Bengals probably traded what's his face, their lineman away by then. What's that guy, Hutchinson or something, whatever his name is. So I think
leading up to that, though, we have a lot of good matchups. I can see,
right.
but I can see Week 6 also being a breakout week for Broncos with the Jets. But I see them kind of actually putting up a fight against us. It seems like a dead even matchup in terms of like experience and performance on the offensive end. I'd say the defensive end is lopsided, which is where the Broncos will end up pulling that game out.
Yeah. And because we didn't see a whole lot from Jamar Chase either.
Yeah.
This last game, I think by then we're going to definitely know what we see from him. I think T. Higgins will probably be back around then.
And then after that, we go to Philly.
Philly is going to be an interesting game, but I'm not as afraid of them as I was in the beginning before the season started. Honestly,
I would agree with that.
I think our defense can hold us in there, and I think our offense can stay with theirs too. I'm not looking at them as like the juggernaut as they were. Maybe they will be, but we'll see.
Yeah.
If
we get Drake Greenlaw by the Eagles game, then I'll even have more confidence just because then we could have, Benito and Greenlaw really kind of matched up with Saquon and then, potentially having Greenlaw as that QB spy and not have to worry about corners going one-on-one.
Yeah, so hopefully we should hopefully have them back by then. I think it's just projected to be out really 3 games, and then
or even Hufanga.
Hufanga's been that beast in the middle, man. He's looks like Troy Polamalu back there. So I'm excited to have him back there, man. I hope he stays healthy for sure. I'm looking forward to it, see what he does.
Yeah, that forced fumble by him last week was huge.
Yep. Got Jahdae Barron his first touchdown in the NFL. So that builds confidence in younger guys, and he's just all over the place too. I think he had like 13 tackles or something like that last week. So he was just kind of involved in almost every play. I think there was like one play when Cam Ward was just dicing it up where he did get one over Hufanga's head, but I don't think that'll happen much more than what it did. So I'm looking forward to it, man. By the time we get to week 6, 7, it's going to be exciting to see what the Broncos said.
Right, exactly. I agree 100%. It's going to be a fun season in Denver for football.
Mm-hmm.
And all sports at that matter, basketball, everything but baseball. Get them season tickets to the Rockies now.
Get them early season tickets to the Rockies now. Yep, while they're still cheap, walk up and get an $8 ticket, man. Can't beat that with the bat. You want to see a professional sport, honestly.
Right. I think you can get season tickets for $200.
You get season tickets for 200 doll hairs.
Yeah,
monthly pack of peanuts.
Yeah, and it's like a monthly subscription where you get to kind of pick your games you want to go to, and they just give you random seats.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Because everywhere you sit at the Rocky Stadium is probably a good seat, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
Depending on the weather. You don't want to have too many bad seats.
And that's the thing that, Denver's taking pride in with their stadium developments and all that is, you can sit anywhere in any of our stadiums and there's not a bad seat. There's no obstruction of views, anything like that. They're taking those considerations for fan experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, shoot, my dude.
Good show as always.
Yeah. So wild. We got 6,000 views on Facebook. Like, where are y'all at?
Right. We need some more sharing, commenting. Jump in on the chat with us, guys. If you ever don't ever hesitate. Don't ever.
Right. I'm glad. Yeah, the ones that did jump in, Aaron. Thanks for joining, man. That crazy Chargers fan, Haney, Harry. Whatever it was, a weird Chargers fan.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's Haney.
Thank you for joining us, Sam. As always, thanks for coming, hanging around, man. We do got a full stacked lineup today on Shady Sports. We had Around the Indoor Football World this morning at 6. Of course, we're on every morning at 9:30. We got Pendleton Roundup at 2:30 today. And Mountain West Football with Kurt Warner's son, Evan Warner, at 8 p.m. tonight. So come check that out. EJ Warner. I know I said Evan Warner. EJ Warner will make his debut playing with Southern University, I think, against Fresno State. So that'll be interesting. That'll be fun. Kyle, thanks for joining us with some start set questions. That was fun. That was cool.
Yeah,
Talked
definitely.
about some fantasy football. But yeah, guys, catch us every Saturday. We're hanging out at the bus stop. You'll see us here. It's we just come, we kick it. We're talking NFL right now, but we may be talking, NBA. We may be talking hockey. We may be talking, MLS. So who knows what we're talking over here? Just whatever we want to chop it up about. We'll come chop it up with us, and we'll chop it up whatever you want to talk about.
Yep, and Henny, join us next week. Come comment in the comment section next week when we go up against Chargers week 3.
Mm-hmm.
See how you feel about it. See after this week if you're still as confident as you are this week.
Right? Once you have that L from the Raiders, that's going to be hard to deal with. I'm sorry, but you might not want to show up with that L from the Raiders next week. So how they're about to, Ashton Gentry's about to run all over y'all. Oh, I'm going to say, you got me rooting for the Raiders. Let's go ahead and go. I got to get out of here, man. You know what? I'm going to hit you guys with the intro again before we get out of here. You got anything else to say?
I think that's it. We'll see y'all next week, man. Join us. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Get your bus pass.
Get your bus pass and watch the Broncos. Chargers suck. Chiefs suck. Have a good day, guys, and we'll see you next week.
It's the bus stop, swerving into what's hot. Coming live, Shady Sports, yeah, we got it on live. Sports and music, yeah, let's get into it. Do it like no other, do it. Blueprint for consuming the team that's never losing. Coming live from Colorado, like shit and follow. Shady Sports, the motto, fresher than avocado. Play by play and ball for ball, we coming to you from afar. Day to day and call for call, we talk about it all.
Yeah, this the bus stop, talking sports and hip hop. Jump on the bandwagon, cause we talking what's hot. 8303, Denver, what's happening? We got sports action. Come take a ride with us if you DJ and a rapping. No capping, stay on LinkedIn, bringing sports and rap news, stats news, and talking Denver Zuzu. And we ain't hard to find. We on Shady Sports Network like all the time. Gemini Statik got the ball, it's time to grind. It's the show you won't wanna miss, not one line. And ain't there not a show bringing what we bringing. So go ahead and tune in, man. We just hanging at the bus stop.
Shady Sports, 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 Shady Sports.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.